The official motorsports gear is here. Get the hottest merchandise from the greatest motorsports events on the planet. Everything from freestyle motocross, supercross, arena cross, U.S. hot rod monster truck merchandise, and more is available. Log on to motorsports.cc.com. Now we have it all. Hats, tees, sweatshirts, jerseys, videos, and much more. Don't wait. Go to motorsports.cc.com for your official motorsports fan merchandise now. It's all the best motorsports videos, all in one place. It's videos.cc.com. Monster Jam, World Finals, Supercross, Gravedigger, Freestyle Motocross, Crash Madness. It's the only place on the web where you can get information, watch exclusive trailers, and purchase the hottest motorsports videos. If it's high-flying, adrenaline-pumping home entertainment you're looking for, you'll find it all at videos.cc.com.
We are racing.
Oh, Michael Rocco goes down in the worst spot. Oh, no. We've got a complete pileup. Here we go, your winner, number 22 on board the Yamaha, Chad Reed.
Yep, there it is. Ezra Lusk made the pass in turn number 7 there.
With only 5 laps to go, and there you see him, Walker taking a look over his shoulder. Preston comes in tight, and both men going to the tough blocks.
Oh, look at that.
Walker goes for the block pass.
Oh my! Oh no! LaRocco clipping the back end of Reed's tire. The main event win goes to number 4. Ricky has a bit of a mistake and Reed closes him. Sellers goes in tight. Jessman comes right back. And the checkered flag is out for Brock Sellers. And look at this! It's Larry Ward.
Oh, he's tripling it.
Oh! Ricky credit, he is the 2-time defending champion, and for reasons like that, your winner in the 125 main, James Bubba Stewart Jr. Look at this, Ricky Carmichael pops into front, Chad Reed tries to block past him and shuts it down. Oh, Carmichael comes up way short on that.
2003 Supercross crown would come down to 2 racers, Ricky Carmichael and Chad Reed. Ricky Carmichael won the 2002 Supercross Championship in dominant fashion, a trait that's been his trademark throughout his professional years. Ricky's dominance over last year's Supercross field had most convinced that he was a lock to cruise to another Supercross title. An Australian transplant, Chad Reed, came to America last year with a burning desire to win against the world's best. The rookie wasted no time and went on a 6-race unbeaten streak to secure the 2002 125 West Championship. Moving up to the 250 class, he was once again a rookie, but no one would underestimate him this time. Supercross was also going through a growth spurt. The sport that historically included competitors from all over the world had finally outgrown just one continent. By adding 2 European Supercross rounds to the 15 domestic ones already in place, a brand new title was created, the THQ World Supercross GP Championship. Riders that raced at all events, including the opening rounds in Switzerland and Holland, would be eligible for not only the AMA Supercross Series Championship, but the new THQ World Supercross GP title as well. Riders that opt to skip Europe and race in the domestic rounds only would vie for the traditional AMA Supercross Series Championship. And for the first time in Supercross history, guaranteed not one champion, but 2. Set to kick off the season in Switzerland, the first ever Supercross Grand Prix started with a bang in Geneva's sold-out Palexpo.
Well, so much is expected of a lot of these riders, but maybe not as much is put on Chad Reed, and a lot of people are expecting big things from this young man, and sometimes that's where he has his problems, puts too much pressure on himself and maybe goes a little too hard.
Well, you know what? I think the beginning of this race, everyone's talking about, oh, you got to get a good start. I don't know. I don't know that the start's going to matter that much in this race. It's going to be a short main event with lap times down around 40 seconds. It's probably going to be about 15 minutes or less. And it's just going to be a free-for-all, just all-out sprint. You might see a lot of weird things happening up front. He's the guy that keeps his cool to come out on top.
All right, the card is up. Keep your eye on David Billman and Chad Reed. Both great qualifying times, and we're off.
Larocco has gone down in the first corner. Unbelievable. So Larocco's going to have to start from last, and I don't see any way he's going to be able to catch up in this short of a main event.
Well, it's a tale of 2 races. Mike Larocco, it all starts right here in dead last for Sebastian Tortelli, the whole shot, and he is out in front.
Unbelievable start. McGrath got run into, it looked like, by his teammate Grant Langston. Got sideways, but he still came out in second. Much better start this time for Billeman. He's in contention. Good start for Tim Ferry. All the players are there except Larocco. Chad riding unbelievable. You can see that the intensity he had in his heat race is here for the main. He didn't get quite the start he needed, but he was in close enough to be able to see these guys and get up there. He went around his teammate Tim Ferry a moment ago. There you see Timmy, number 15. And now that Billeman feels the pressure of Chad, he's had to turn it up a little bit, and they've both caught McGrath. Now McGrath can really feel this.
Jeremy McGrath currently sitting in second place on board his new KTM ride, and Chad Reed is colorblind. He does not care who is in front of him, teammate or not, he is going all out.
Beautiful move. Billeman could see that McGrath was going wide. He didn't want to leave the door open for Chad. Tucked into the inside, made the pass, and Chad stuck in there as well. So Jeremy's got to be feeling like, what the heck just happened there?
And here is that battle. Number 12 is David Billeman from Marseille, France. The Australian rider is 22. Chad Reed just joined the 250 circuit. And I'll tell you what, if you're Team Yamaha, you've got to love and hate this site. You got to love it because you have such talent in your pool, and you got to hate it because you have 2 guys really battling for one bone.
There he goes, creating an opportunity.
Oh, he does it. David Billeman pulls it off. He gets into first place. Sebastian Tortelli is second. Now Chad Reed will continue to put the pressure on him. Will not be surprised if Reed makes the pass as well. And at this point, it looks like Chad Reed has enough of Sebastian Tortelli. For Tortelli, he's not thinking about getting in first right now. He's trying to think about how can I lose number 22. Chad Reed is all over him. Oh, and in the air they connect. It looks like Chad Reed goes down. Sebastian Tortelli stays on his bike, but Chad Reed goes down. He is now slid into 4th, 5th, 6th place if he can get this thing up and running.
And here it is again. Tortelli blocked the inside, but he cross-threaded up the jump. They came together. Chad Reed going down hard. Tortelli dragging the bike to the outside. It doesn't look like Chad's hurt, but he's not up to full speed yet.
Sebastian Tortelli got our whole shot here in the main. He battled with Billeman, he battled with McGrath, then he battled with Reed, and now he's doing battle with Timmy Ferry. And Timmy Ferry comes in so hot, he's not able to execute the block pass, but very close.
And he gets him in the same exact place as Billeman made the pass on Tortelli for the lead, so muscled his way in. That's got set up clear back in the corner before the trip.
Well, at this point, it looks like a Yamaha will certainly be on a podium. He's got a lead of over 4.5 seconds right now. David Billeman, a.k.a. the Cobra, bringing it around in front of this partisan Europe
European crowd, and there's a little emotion from number 12. David Villemin will start things off right this year.
What a relief for him to get a win under his belt and know that he's on the right track.
And the checkered flag comes out for the flying Frenchman, David Villemin, on board the Yamaha. He takes the victory here in the 250 main.
All right, I caught up with the Cobra. I'm not sure if it's because of his venomous arms or his tactics on the track. David Villemin, the number 12. David, why do they call you the Cobra?
That's a long story about my riding style. You know, everybody thinks I'm moving a lot on the bike and stuff, so that came out maybe in '97, so I've been carrying it a long way.
All right, I'd be catching a whipping if I didn't bring up his coach, David Bailey, right? He's your boy. You guys chill out. Talk about working with David and how that's helped you, and you know, having a champion in your corner, does that give you confidence? And he's been there?
Yeah, you know, David has a lot of experience racing and also watching the races since 10 years. So I think he saw a lot of things happening, and you know, he has a lot of knowledge about the physical training and everything. So, and he was a smooth rider when he rode. You know, he wasn't like the Swedish guy. You know.
You're kind of a quiet guy, and sometimes people mistake that for like, you know, a quiet, focused person can be thought of like, well, he's got a bad attitude, but that's not the way it is. You're really kind of more of a fun, just kind of cruise kind of guy, right?
Yeah, you know, there's, I think there's a lot of things going on with the French guys, you know. French guys, they're supposed to smell, they're supposed to be, to have attitude, you know. I don't think from here, you know, that's a legend, you know. I'm just focused on what I'm doing, and sometimes if I'm not smiling because I'm not having a good day, you know, what I want is to win. I can't be like Travis and all happy, even if I got whipped, you know. I just want to try my best and, you know, and think about what went wrong. I think that's the way it is, and I think I showed in practice and everything, like, I'm happy to be here and I'm happy to ride, you know. But, you know, that's the way it is. People sometimes I kind of getting some of the stuff wrong.
I want to ask you, last question. You win the race. How do you decide, heel clicker or whip, or how, you know, is it a freestyle trick? Does it depend on what city you're in?
I don't know. What about a backflip?
This guy's having too much fun giving me a hard time, so we're out of here. Backflip, David Villemin, Cobra. All right, I'm with you. All right.
20 riders on our KTM starting grid, David, and there's a lot of good ones. Ferry, Villemin, McGrath, Reed, Tortelli, choose your poison.
Well, Villemin and Reed having a great heat race battle, but Ferry's heat race is actually just a little bit quicker, so expect those three guys to be right there.
We are set to go. This is the main event from Arnhem, Holland. 20 riders dicing into that corner, and who comes out with a whole shot? Well, it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. It's number 22, Chad Reed.
Looked like Tortelli had it, but Reed was in there right away. Lewis again. European trip, not going good. See, he gets shoved wide. Volney gets blocked. Down they go. They got to start their race from the back.
Mike Rocco's not going to know what to do with himself, having to fight up through those 20 laps to get into a top 5 position. And here he is, starting off in top 5, but in front of him some tremendous talent, including our leader, number 22, Chad Reed, on board the Yamaha as he brings him around one more time.
You know, we haven't mentioned McGrath yet. A bad start for Jeremy. He's still not even coming into the picture. It's not been the best trip for Jeremy. There he is, finally.
McGrath sitting in 7th place right now on board his new ride, the KTM. And how much of that do you factor into it, that it is a new ride? He's still getting used to it.
Well, quite a bit. Still got to get used to that bike. They make a lot of changes. They were making a lot more last week in Geneva. I think he's got it narrowed down a bit more, but still not quite up to speed yet. He didn't get the start he needed here to really battle with these guys.
Chad Reed from Australia continues to be our leader here in the main event, the 250cc, round number 2. In second from Marseille, France, on the 12 Yamaha, that is David Villemin, the winner at our first stop in Geneva, Switzerland. And now we've had a shake-up a little bit in the standings, David. Grant Langston, 111 on board the KTM, has now moved into 3rd place.
To the Rocco.
Oh, picture-perfect block pass.
Langston just had no idea he was quite that close. Otherwise, he would have cut off that line a little bit right there.
Langston and LaRocco continue to do battle here in Arnhem, Holland. The white flag is out now. Chad Reed and David Villemin will just coast in this last lap, try to avoid lap riders and the enormous ruts that have now formed.
Well, Chad Reed has definitely got some momentum. I talked about Langston already. Villemin knows he's where he needs to be, and they still have a little bit of work to do in the next 3 weeks.
But your winner in Arnhem Holland, number 22, Chad Reed, on board the Yamaha from Australia. He picks up the victory at stop number 2. Second place will go to number 12, out of Marseille, France, also on board a Yamaha, Mr. David Villemin. But the night belongs to Chad Reed. Mike LaRocco with a tremendous performance, securing third place. And in fourth, it will be South Africa's Grant Langston on the KTM.
After 2 rounds of competition, David Villemin led the THQ World Supercross GP points race with 47, followed by Chad Reed with 41, and Grant Langston in third with 38 points. With the first 2 international events in the books, the superstars of Supercross returned from Europe ready to invade Anaheim. Edison International Field had become hallowed ground for the best riders in the world, and the AMA Supercross Series opening round was a tradition in Southern California. But this year, when they pulled up to the start gate, one man would be missing. After 2 disappointing performances in Switzerland and Holland, the motorcycle master who was the flag bearer of Supercross, the one who took a sport and made it a phenomenon, the winningest rider in Supercross history, had dropped the final checkered flag on his career. Jeremy McGrath had retired.
I know many of you are probably wondering, why now? And to be honest with all of you, I never knew how this was all going to end. After a great deal of thought and retrospect and looking at this wonderful career I've had, this sport has brought me more than I could ever have imagined or dreamed. It just seems like the right time. I'm closing this chapter, the racing and competition part, and starting the next chapter of my life.
As Jeremy's news reverberated around the world of Supercross, there was still an opening round to race, and Anaheim was ready.
Welcome to Anaheim, California on a picture-perfect evening. This is Edison International Field for the THQ World Supercross GP.
Well, this is it, the main event for the 250cc's. The defending overall champion, Ricky Carmichael. Anaheim has not been a kind place to him. Last year, the man who owned this race, David Villemin, on board the Yamaha, he certainly would like to have a deja vu.
And they're starting right next to each other. There's Ezra Lusk, who had to go all the way to the last chance qualifier. That's kind of a weak smile. He's going, yeah, whatever. Travis Pastrana right next to the little house that hides the mechanism that drops the gate that the riders used to cheat and look at.
And that's on board with Ryan Clark. We'll hopefully get some great shots from him throughout the race, but this is going to be a tremendous race. 20 riders, 20 laps. Chad Reed with his pick on the starting line, and he had the fastest qualifying heat.
It was 6 seconds faster, Todd, than Carmichael's heat, and that battle he had with Pastrana. It looked like those guys were flying, but it was actually Chad Reed who was more consistent.
Well, the capacity crowd here at Edison International Field of Anaheim has turned out for this. 250 main, Ricky Carmichael, the defending overall champion, and the card has gone sideways, folks. Strap in and hold on.
Mike Brown.
Unbelievable. Mike Brown, Chad Reed on his outside, and see if Chad Reed tries to take it back. Reed goes for the style points. First of all, look how hot he's coming in there. Just like that, the kid from down under, number 22, Chad Reed, on board the Yamaha, moves into the lead. And there's Ricky Carmichael, number 4, working through that whoop section. We saw him earlier in the day having problems there, and Ricky Carmichael currently trying to make a move, and he is just not getting the job done, sitting back in 8th place.
There's plenty of time. Somewhere during the lap, I took my eyes off it. Oh, Carmichael gets a little bit of block passing done to him. Roncada.
Oh, and Carmichael taking up high, and Roncada gets it back. Ricky Carmichael having his problems. Let's look at it one more time. Is that payback?
Now he got a little bit mixed up, trying to get up there and stay with Roncada.
And Carmichael's down again in the corner. Ricky Carmichael down for the second time.
That time it looked like he hit the back tire of Villemin.
And I can't believe I'm even saying this. In a main event, Ricky Carmichael is in dead last.
Well, a couple laps ago, it was Villemin in dead last. So the two players, yeah, it was the back tire of Villemin. And going back to Reed, you know, this guy is, you can see it in his eyes. And he's pretty cocky, too, you know. Yep. He talks about, hey, I'm here to win. I'm not here messing around.
Oh, Mike LaRocco goes down in the worst spot. Oh, no. We've got a complete pileup. Travis Pastrana hits him. He is down, and he is not getting up quickly.
I cannot believe that it was Travis, and it was not of his fault. It was completely a blind deal.
Let's look at it one more time. Here's Mike LaRocco getting squirrely, goes in nose first and just plunges.
Now look, he's completely hidden. Now watch Travis. He doesn't know. Right into him.
Oh!
And then Michael Byrne plows into him. And then Ivan Tedesco, number 52.
Let's look at it one more time. And we talked about how deep these whoops are. LaRocco's down. Oh. And you know, there's nothing Travis could have done right there.
No, that was just a weird deal. What a strange night.
He has been absolutely flawless. He keeps this together, and we are going to have one exciting year here on the 2003 THQ World Supercross GP.
You know what I find weird is that when Chad went across the finish line the last time, they didn't have the white flag out, so he may think, wait a minute.
Here we go, your winner, number 22 on board the Yamaha, Chad Reed, picks up his second victory and an amazing performance from start to finish. And I think the fans really appreciate the performance he turned in tonight. Ricky Carmichael, you can't say enough about this young man. At one point in this race, he was dead last on the deck twice. He comes back to get second place. Tim Ferry rode very solid. He gets third.
I mean, yeah, you always want to win, but that's the way it goes. And, you know, I got a bad start. And when you get a bad start, that raises the bar for things going wrong, and that's what happened. My Honda was good, and you know, I can't complain about that. The bike was awesome, and you just got to capitalize on things that happen next week. You know, I'm going to work hard. I got the speed, I got the strength, that's for sure, and but woulda, coulda, shoulda this weekend. Hats off to Chad, and looking forward to trying to get up on top next weekend.
Race, just, yeah, it was weird. It was like, kind of like I had such a big lead, I really didn't know what was going on, if there was somebody catching me or not. I just backed it down a little bit and just kept it on two wheels and just get that first one out of the way. I'm excited, you know, it hasn't really hit me. It just seems like just a normal race for me.
After the first Anaheim Supercross, the THQ World Supercross GP leaders included David Villeman in first with 67 points, Chad Reed in second with 66, and Tim Ferry in third with 59 points. The AMA Supercross Series points chase featured Chad Reed leading the way with 25, followed by Ricky Carmichael with 22 points, and Tim Ferry in third with 20.
To the fourth stop of the THQ World Supercross GP, welcome to Bank One Ballpark here in Phoenix, Arizona. I'll tell you what, it's the who's who in Supercross racing. Guys like Ezra Lusk, Grant Langston, both winners earlier. Chad Reed's there, Ricky Carmichael, David Villeman, Ernesto Fonseca, Sebastian Cortelli, Travis Pastrana, Tim Ferry, Michael Burns, Stefan Roncada, Ivan Tedesco, just to name a few. The 250 main is off, and here we go at Bank One Ballpark in Phoenix, Arizona, as we take a look who's going to pick up the SXGP.com hole shot. And Chad Reed.
It was close. Ezra was right there.
Look at this.
All the players are there. Lusk, Carmichael, Reed, Villeman up there, Pastrana. Oh, Pastrana almost goes down.
Pastrana almost hooks up with Tim Ferry, but he avoids him. Chad Reed is your leader. Ezra Lusk right behind him. And in the third place position is Ricky Carmichael. Now remember, Ezra Lusk just pinned Chad Reed on the last turn to win that first heat, so that will be something we'll have to certainly keep our eyes on. Ricky Carmichael sitting in third, somewhere he does not like to be. And right behind him in fourth is Ernesto Fonseca.
The intensity that he showed this week compared to going into Anaheim, just a little bit more. You know, I remember what it felt like to win a race. My first win was at Anaheim. Reed's first real win here in the States coming at Anaheim, and he's showing the same confidence that I remember feeling. Still not enough to get him away from these guys, but who would have thought that Reed would be in control of the first two races at this point. Carmichael going down.
So Ricky Carmichael goes down. He will lose third and fourth, so he goes back all the way to sixth place. So Ernesto Fonseca now moves into third, Tim Ferry in fourth, David Villeman in fifth, and Ricky Carmichael drops back to sixth.
Carmichael just in the air going into the corner. Right behind Reed, you'll see Lusk, and then Carmichael washing out. Lost the front end again. This is the corner before he lost the front end in the heat race. Ezra back up front, and over the finish line jump, block passes Chad Reed. So Ezra is not kidding around here.
And then Chad Reed has a problem right there. He cuts it a little too tight. I think he's a little frustrated. Maybe he didn't know Ezra was still back there on his heel. Unbelievable. Ezra Lusk is your leader. Chad Reed now trying to take back what he thinks is rightfully his. And look at that. Smart writing. Ezra Lusk closed down the line, takes a look over his left shoulder. He knows what's coming.
Wow, this is great news for Ezra Lusk. His last win was in '99 at Indianapolis.
And here it is, the checkered flag for number 11, Ezra Lusk on the Team Kawasaki, picking up the victory here in Phoenix, Arizona. Chad Reed will have to settle for second, and no one will be happier than Ricky Carmichael. And a classy move by Chad Reed, goes over to shake the hand of Ezra Lusk. Ricky Carmichael making the last few turns. But the happiest man in the Valley of the Sun right now is number 11, a good old boy from Georgia, Ezra Lusk.
The last weekend at Anaheim, everything just kind of snowballed, you know. I didn't start out the weekend like I wanted to on Friday, and I can't really say one certain thing that really held me back last week. It was a few things. Coming into the race this weekend, I knew I wanted to try to make a better showing, and if I had any shot at this championship, I needed to do something now. I did it. I started out on fire yesterday, just trying to ride with those guys and get my pace up, you know, and what can I say? I won my heat race, and after that, I knew I could do it. I just had to be up there at the front of the pack at the beginning. Yeah, the race I had with Chad tonight, you know, I knew that if we stuck together and just pulled away from the pack, and maybe later on the race, with a few laps to go, I tried to make something of it. And I just stayed right on him as close as I could for the whole race, and at the 15-lap mark, I tried to make my move, and he made a couple mistakes, and I was able to capitalize and make that pass right before the finish line. You know, we all are racers, and we love to race. We know what it takes to win, and we're going to have to ride aggressive. We all know that because we're professional athletes. We got to do what we got to do. After the race, we're buddies. We'll go eat and hang out.
And Ezra Lusk doing such a fantastic job, just hanging right behind Reed.
I never stop believing. You know, I always keep my faith in myself and in the good Lord that, you know, I can do it. And I never once believed that I couldn't. I think if I ever did, then I wouldn't be racing. So I always knew I could do it. I just needed to get it together and not quit letting myself down. Well, you know, me being the only guy on the team, I did it for a long time with Honda. I won 11 Supercrosses over there, or 9 Supercrosses. And that's not a record, but it's a pretty good bit of wins. And I can do it here. You know, I got Bubba that I race against every weekend on the watch. So he's like my competition.
As Supercross roared back into Anaheim, only a few points separated the riders in both series. Each title was still very much up for grabs. So far, Chad Reed had set the pace, winning 2 main events and appearing on the podium in all 4 rounds. Ricky Carmichael, on the other hand, had yet to lead a lap, much less win a main event. Small mistakes were costing Carmichael valuable ground on the consistent Reed. Another sold-out Edison International field waited to see if Ricky could straighten out his game. As the gate dropped, Sebastian Tortelli grabbed the whole shot, but Ricky overtook him within seconds to grab the lead. On the second lap, Chad Reed lost his bike through the turn, pushing him back to 17th place. By the midway point of the main event, Ricky had a 2-second lead over Tortelli, who was being hounded by Ezra Lusk. Late in the race, Ezra's aggressiveness finally paid off as he passed Tortelli for second. Sebastian was then overtaken by a hard-charging Mike LaRocco, who next set out to give Lusk a run for his money. Just after being passed by LaRocco in the last lap, the whoop section finally got the better of Lusk as he went down, allowing Tortelli to inherit third place. Ricky nursed his lead all the way to the checkered flag, netting him his first win of the season and inching him past Chad Reed in the points race. Mike LaRocco stood second on the podium, and Sebastian Tortelli finished third. Only a handful of points separated Ricky and Chad on the leaderboard, but they were having trouble staying close to each other on the track. Not since the Anaheim season opener did both superstars find themselves together in the pack. Perhaps they would finally race bar to bar on the Pacific Bell Park track in the very first San Francisco Supercross. In the points chase, Ezra Lusk followed close behind the 2 leaders. Not only was he racing well, but he was also celebrating becoming a first-time father. Right before the main event, Lusk said he would win for his new little boy. But right off the bat, his problems began. Ezra inadvertently collided off the start with Sebastian Tortelli and promptly went down. He would remount far behind the rest of the pack. Meanwhile, Stefan Roncada had sprung out of the gate to grab the hole shot, followed by New York privateer Paul Carpenter and the points leader Ricky Carmichael. By lap 6, Ricky had not only passed Carpenter, but Roncada as well to gain the lead. After a dreadful start, Chad Reed worked his way right behind Michael Byrne into 4th place. Reed waited until midway through the race to make his move, passing both Byrne and Roncada to move into 2nd. Chad then whittled away at Ricky's lead and seemed to make up serious time on the champion in the late laps. Ricky claimed his 2nd straight victory of the season, while Chad Reed simply ran out of time to catch him and finished 2nd. Ricky had advanced his points lead over Chad, but the Australian was not far behind. As Supercross shifted back to Anaheim, it was still anybody's game. After the San Francisco Supercross, the THQ World Supercross GP leaders were Chad Reed in 1st with 134 points, David Villeman in 2nd with 125, and Tim Ferry in 3rd with 121 points. The AMA Supercross Series points chase featured Ricky Carmichael out in front with 90 points, followed closely by Chad Reed with 84. Tim Ferry was in 3rd with 74 points.
And we welcome you to Anaheim, California, Edison International Field, a capacity crowd. It is the hottest ticket in town, and for good reason. The 250, the best in the world class, take the field tonight.
The track builders are always trying to find new and unique ways to challenge the riders, and for this race, they've come up with the Anaheim option. Here's the way it works. Off the start, they have created 2 identical sections of the racetrack. One goes to the right, one goes to the left. After a turn and a straightaway, they merge back together. Now, during the race, the riders can go any which way they want, but from the starting gate, they have to go to the right or to the left, depending on where they've lined up. And because they go to the gate by how they finish in qualifiers, well, that means the Anaheim option should make for some great qualifying action.
Well, strap in, folks. This is the main event, the 250 main, a packed house here in Anaheim, California at Edison International Field as the 30 board is up. The best riders in the world literally are here. They've traveled from all corners to make it to the 3rd and final stop in Anaheim, California, and the folks here have been the greatest hosts. Final preparations being made. SXGP.com doling out not 1 but 2 checks, and the 30 board is sideways. We are set to race in Anaheim.
Looks like Villeman scoops up the one side. Ezra gets underneath him.
Michael Byrne coming out of the right side very fast. So it's Byrne and Lusk going in there, and Ricky Carmichael, you knew he was going to find his way in there. So right now it is Byrne, Lusk, and Carmichael.
So it was LaRocco and Michael Byrne, both on Hondas that got the hole shots. Looked like Villeman came in, but he didn't get out of there. He had to go wide, and he got shuffled way back. Neck and neck with Chad Reed right now. Carmichael taking a look at all of it. Roncada has the inside. Chad didn't have any room, but he still got out of there and got the double and set himself up for this section. He'll have the inside, but can't do anything about it. This is great. A Honda, a Kawasaki, a Suzuki, a Yamaha, and then another Honda. The Honda sandwich right now, the top 4. Ricky up there with Chad. Look at this. A little back and forth. Ezra picks it up. He's trying to ditch Reed is what he's trying to do.
Well, they've had some great battles, maybe one of the best heat races we've seen in Phoenix all year long, and the split is starting to come into play. Here we go, the Anaheim merge. Byrne goes through, Lusk goes through, then it's Roncada. Carmichael goes in, and he will slide in front of Chad Reed.
Chad made a gamble right there. It didn't pay.
As Ricky Carmichael's turning the fastest lap at a 58.4, and we've got action now taking place. Carmichael just launches his way right in front of Ezra Lusk. So Carmichael in 3rd and now looking for 2nd.
Look at that. Just brushes off the face of that jump, just throws that Honda down to stay low. 4 or 5 feet lower than everybody else, makes 2 passes right away. Lusk blew it, couldn't triple. And Roncada and Ricky went right around him. Ricky gets by in the whoops, so now he's chasing Byrne. He's got to stay close.
Well, here it is.
Battle for the front.
Ricky Carmichael, number 4. Number 32 is Michael Byrne. And RC, look at him fly through the whoops.
Byrne is not cracking, and this is plenty of pressure, believe me.
But you got to love how Ricky, every time around, David, looks like he's taking a different line. Just trying to find a little crack, a new something, a new nuance to show him.
He just creates so much pressure for the guys he's chasing. Look at this. Oh, I thought he might have an inside right there. As long as he's got a bit of a gap back to Reed, He can be patient, but as soon as Reed closes, if he can, you'll see Ricky go ballistic and do whatever it takes.
Look at this. Ricky goes in, sets up the block, pulls it off. Now ahead of them, yellow flags are out. We've got riders down. It'll be interesting to see how this affects them. Ricky slams the door shut.
And look at Byrne coming right back.
Well, Michael Byrne, who was once a foe, Ricky takes a look over at him, both men on board the Honda. Ricky's now counting on Michael Byrne to hold off Chad Reed. It's in the battle for second, starting to heat up. Here comes Chad Reed, the Thunder from down under. Chad Reed out of Australia on board the Yamaha number 22, looking fast and fresh as he starts and gets the job done on Michael Byrne.
Wow, this is close.
Carmichael, no time to celebrate. Chad taking an inner side line, trying to close it down. Ricky, as you said, is just looked perfect as he comes up to the finish line. Ricky Carmichael, your winner.
He points back to Reed, a little fist pump. Reed rides right past him. Doesn't even look at him, just like last week. That's a big win for Ricky. He held off the rider that I expected to come in here with all the motivation and firepower to win it. He held him off.
Ricky Carmichael celebrating, and meanwhile, more riders down. Stefan Roncada having problems, but Ricky Carmichael is your winner. Chad Reed will have to settle for second, but what a great race.
Well, I guess since you're looking at that number, I really don't have to introduce our next rider, but he's a Sobe Suzuki team rider, Travis Pastrana, hanging out with me. Now, Travis, I want to ask you, first things first, Anaheim won. What's up with the whole magnet syndrome with you and LaRocco? Even in practice, I see you guys are riding next to each other. Just stay away from the guy.
We really tried. We don't like riding next to each other. Just it always happens, man. And came over the jump, blind jump. I'm like, ha, there he is again. But actually, he got way the worst end of that deal. I hit him going about 40.
Well, let's talk about the bus too. I mean, you're talking about Ricky Carmichael. He had a bus. Now Travis Pastrana has his own rock and roll bus. You can see the stickers. We got the No Fear, the Spy, the 199. Got the Sobe. I mean, things are going on. What's up with the bus? How does that help?
You can't be outdone by the Joneses. So everybody, you know, Chad Reed, we all got buses, but now this is the pimp bus. I mean, this bus has everything.
Oh, I like that. Well, we're gonna have to go inside and check it out. You guys want to check out Travis Pastrana's bus? Yeah, nod your head. All right, here we go. Let's take a look.
So now, right here, we got the huge flat screen television, and this is for watching practice. It actually does serve a purpose, and you know, Gary Bailey, my coach right here, always going over everything. He's got the laptop out, they're doing lap times, they're doing everything. So come on back, get the navigational system. Always people in and out of the bus. Right here, you know, the Aerodyne. So very crucial, you know, warm up in here before the main event comes. All this, Gary has exact times from here to here and here to here and all the way around the track, so we know exactly where I'm slow, where I'm fast, where I need to make improvements on. And, you know, basically all the luxuries at home. You know, huge pull out. You got the microwave, of course the television, you got the PlayStation. You know, I need to come in here, take a nice hot shower. You got that toilet in there. I don't know if you guys want a tour of that, but, you know, it's in there. You know, back here we can come watch the playoffs, football, you know, get relaxed before the finals come up, and that's pretty much it, man. It's my life. It's great.
And welcome to San Diego, California's Qualcomm Stadium for the THQ World Supercross GP, the AMA Supercross Series. This is the 250cc class.
Should be a great night, folks. This is it, the main event of the 250 class, and this is the final event we've got on the West Coast. As you look at the rest of the Suzuki starting grid, Ward's in there, Clark, Huffman, Ferry, Brock Sellers, Casey Lytle. They're going down the line, making their final preparations.
Look at the far inside, Lusk, then Carmichael, then Villeman, then Ferry. Ferry, I expect on that 450 to get a much better start than he did in his heat and his semi. I think this is going to be the time where Ferry gets it all together, but you still got to outrun this kid. Three wins in a row, looking for number 4.
The 30-second board is sideways, and we are off in San Diego, California. Who will get the SXGP.com hole shot? Villeman's up there. And look at that, number 32, Michael Byrne first to the light, but Villeman on the outside coming in, trying to find a way to take away his lead. Villeman will hold off. On the outside, it's Chad Reed coming around. And the two Yamahas come together, and Villeman comes out in front. David Villeman, number 12, on board the Yamaha. And once again, Chad Reed makes another great run to the whoop section. Can he duplicate that? He's not able to come back as fast, and his teammate stays out in front. Here he comes again. Has he figured this rhythm section out? He has. The Thunder from down under gets past the Cobra, so it's now Reed in first, Villeman in second, and here comes the hard-charging Ricky Carmichael. And I'll tell you what, David, this is what people have been wanting to see in this class. And look at that. Carmichael gets past Villeman in a very interesting position. I don't think David Villeman knew he was that close.
No, he didn't. Ricky was just a touch more aggressive. That's the only thing holding David back right now is these guys are just hanging it out another couple percent, and now...
Oh, Carmichael goes down. Ricky Carmichael goes over the bars. The enders comes out of that whoop section. Villeman gets by him, so Carmichael drops. He will now go into about 6th place. Byrne gets by him. Ferry gets by him. Way gets by him.
Here comes 2 more. Oh, Fonseca.
Ernesto Fonseca just drops. Chad Reed maintains his lead, and unfortunately for race fans who are expecting to see this battle continue for 20 laps, he is checked out.
Ricky's dealing with right now is, besides it probably didn't feel too good to fall, look how much lower he stays than Nick Way. Sets him up perfect for a pass.
Well, this is the 250 main, and we have seen a great race thus far, about halfway through. Your leader, Chad Reed, number 22, on board the Yamaha.
I don't know that Ricky ever did that, but look at that Byrne. Byrne did lay up and go wide, and he was able to get back to the inside, and he totally trail rode through that corner just to go, here, Ricky, I'm not battling for this championship. You are. Go ahead. I got your back.
Oh, and Tim Ferry's gone down. Tim Ferry into the tough blocks, opens the door for Ricky Carmichael, who now slides into 3rd place. And David, we'll have to look at that one more time, but Timmy just had it going. He started entering into that left-hand turn and just went right into a tough block. Chad Reed coming down the backstretch. The flashes are going off, waving to the fans. I'll tell you what, coming to this event, he just showed me something in practice. He just looked like he was due for a victory. I'm not saying that Todd Harris crystal ball was working overtime, but Chad Reed deserves the win and gets it. Your 250 winner in San Diego. The Thunder from down under, number 22, Chad Reed on board the Yamaha, picks up the win.
Yeah, I got a good start, and Chad got really fast tonight. He passed me, and after that, Ricky crashed in front of me, so I had to go around, and I kind of jumped his bike. I thought I would have crashed, but I saved it, and after Chad kind of took off, and I was on 3rd, and I saw like Timmy was 3rd, so it would be good for Yamaha to be a top 3, but I guess he made a mistake, and but I'm happy to put 2 Yamahas on the podium, and it's good for the championship.
Yeah, the race was great. Tonight the track was somewhat, tough because everybody could do the same thing, and me and David and everyone just kind of sat in there. We got to get good starts, got to be tough, and you got to fight for it.
Welcome to Minneapolis, Minnesota, and the THQ World Supercross GP, the AMA Supercross Series, as we welcome you to the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome on a very chilly night. Well, the temperature outside is below 20 degrees. Inside it's 65 degrees. And they are going to heat it up for the near 50,000 people here in the Metrodome. The 30 board is sideways. Who will get the SXGP.com hole shot? And we are off and running in Minneapolis. Oh, Ezra Lusk. Welcome to the world of SXGP.com. Cash, we got a pile up in the back.
Well, Ezra needed a start, but Ezra Lusk has a great lead. The bad news is Carmichael got a great start. He got around Larry Ward just a moment ago, and he's in 2nd. And Ezra would probably much rather have Carmichael stuck in about 10th right now. He could relax just a bit more. Ricky is so good at getting up in there and challenging early in the race and putting the pressure on.
Tim Ferry block passes on Larry Ward. He gets by him, and here comes Chad Reed trying to double his way into 3rd, and he does so.
Beautiful, beautiful. Chad Reed just ran the very top of that berm like the surfer riding the very top of a wave, flirting with that loose dirt up there by the tough blocks, got away with it.
Ricky Carmichael now trying to close in on Ezra Lusk, gets a great run through that whoop section, and it's Chad Reed answering. So Minneapolis, you may get what the rest of America has wanted to see, a 3-way battle between these men. The factories are represented, Kawasaki, Honda, and Yamaha, and Chad Reed is just gassing it all the way, trying to close in on Carmichael, who's trying to do the same thing to Ezra Lusk. 20 riders going 20 laps. This should be good. Ezra Lusk, your leader here in Minneapolis, and here comes Chad Reed. Ricky has a bit of a mistake, and Reed closes him.
Oh, we're going to see some fireworks now. Chad Reed is not afraid of Ricky, going, here, take this. Gives him a little bump.
And you know,
if anybody was wondering if Reed has something for Ricky, check it out. The answer is yes.
Clean racing. Don't want to say anything about Chad, but I think you're right.
He's bordering on doing some dirty stuff there, bordering, but I think Ricky would have done the same thing.
But psychologically,
look at this.
Unbelievable. Chad Reed getting a great run through there. Ezra Lusk, can he hold off Chad Reed? As they come through one more time, now starting to close the gap. Lusk having problems in the whoop section, and Chad Reed gets by him.
Beautiful. Oh, I don't believe what I saw. Chad Reed went through that whoop section, just stopped on a dime, just rode the nose into that rut, and was able to hang on. Now Carmichael's got to be going, oh my goodness, what is going on? And he makes a little mistake right there. I think Ricky is just, he can't believe it. Chad goes down.
Chad Reed goes down hard.
That's the move I was talking about for the lead, but he just went down at the entrance to that whoop section. And now Ricky's going, okay, been there, done that. I was trying to keep the pace last week, and I went down pushing too hard. So
well, for a second there, I thought we were going to have a deja vu of Bank One Ballpark, Phoenix, Arizona, when Chad Reed and Ezra Lusk had a great battle, and there it is. We talked about that in the LCQ, how slippery that corner is.
Pushing a little bit too hard.
And David Villeman, for my money, is the best of the whoops tonight. He has just looked flawless through there.
Yeah, the start didn't help. Look at Ricky. Here he goes.
So Carmichael now getting the job done, and Ezra Lusk gets a good run. Lusk trying to come back and answer. Will not be able to get it done here as Carmichael has the inside line. So Ricky Carmichael now moves into the lead. We have had 3 lead changes thus far, and I don't think we're done with this quite yet, David. Opportunities have been there for a lot of riders tonight. Chad Reed, Ezra Lusk, David Villeman. But Ricky Carmichael made the most of those opportunities, and here's a guy who actually got nudged out by Chad Reed on one of the early laps, and he didn't let it frazzle him, and that's experience. Remember, it's not a sprint, although it looks like it. This thing is a marathon, 20 laps. And Ricky Carmichael tonight has been the most consistent.
Carmichael is the strongest guy out there.
Well, the king of the jungle tonight in Minneapolis, Minnesota is Ricky Carmichael. Get your flash bulbs hot. Carmichael picks up yet another victory. So the 2-time defending champion on board his Honda gets yet another win.
4 wins on the season to go with the number 4 on his number plate. He's pumped.
After the Minneapolis Supercross, Chad Reed led the THQ World Supercross GP title chase with 204 points. David Villeman was in second with 191 and Tim Ferry in third with 180 points. Ricky Carmichael was in front of the AMA Supercross Series points chase with 160, followed by Chad Reed with 146 points. David Villeman was third with 127. By the time Supercross cruised into Atlanta, the battle lines were drawn between Ricky Carmichael and Chad Reed, and both sides were busy digging in. Some considered Chad's pass on Ricky in Minneapolis to be questionable. Some even accused Reed of being downright dirty. At any rate, the message had been sent. This was a 2-man fight to the finish. Everyone else should just stay clear. Despite having to claw his way into the main event by winning the last chance qualifier, Larry Ward showed no signs of fatigue as he blasted out of the gate to grab the hole shot. Ward held on to the lead until Carmichael pried it away from the 17-year Supercross veteran on lap 3. Shortly after that, Ezra Lusk ended his night early as he lost his timing, soared over the bars, and was swallowed up by the whoop section. Meanwhile, Ricky had checked out to a 10-second lead. After a brief battle with teammate David Villeman, Reed pulled into second place and set his sights on Ricky. He would never catch the defending champion as Carmichael finished with a 6-second margin over Reed. David Villeman grabbed the final spot on the podium. After winning his second main event in a row and the 5th of the season so far, Ricky Carmichael was ever so slowly pulling away from Chad Reed at the midway point of the series. Next up was Indianapolis, a city that held many memories for Carmichael, some good and some bad. It was in Indy that Ricky was soundly booed after unintentionally coming together with crowd favorite Travis Pastrana 1 year ago. What the current round held in store for the defending champ was anyone's guess. As the gate dropped in the main event, last year's 125 West champion Travis Preston made slight contact with Larry Ward, but stayed on 2 wheels to claim the hole shot. Immediately, Ricky Carmichael passed Preston to take the lead. David Villeman moved into second place and promptly went about catching the champion. After a sixth-place start, Chad Reed had moved right behind Villeman. Late in the race, Villeman moved to within 4 seconds of Carmichael, but would get no closer. Ricky left Indy intact with his 6th main event win of the season and 3rd victory in a row. After the Indianapolis event, Chad Reed was leading the way in the THQ World Supercross GP title chase with 251 points. David Villeman was in second with 238, and Tim Ferry in third with 216. In the AMA Supercross Series points chase, Ricky Carmichael sat alone in the lead with 210 points, followed by Chad Reed with 188. David Villeman was in third with 169 points. So far, the biggest casualty of the epic Carmichael versus Reed Supercross battle of 2003 was the rest of the field. In a quest to join the fight at the top of the standings, many of the sport's best had gone down. David Villeman was hurt in Daytona. Tim Ferry contracted the Epstein-Barr virus. Mike LaRocco was out with a shoulder injury. And the entire Suzuki team, Sebastian Tortelli, Stefan Roncada, and Travis Pastrana, were all sidelined with various leg injuries. Ezra Lusk was still in the running, but at 100 points off the lead, he was a considerable long shot. With a decimated field of riders, the 2003 Supercross season had become the battle everyone expected it would be almost by default. In the point standings, it had boiled down to defending champion Ricky Carmichael versus 250 rookie Chad Reed. But in St. Louis, the battle that had mostly been waged on paper would come to life and finally be fought on the track.
Welcome to the banks of the mighty Mississippi in St. Louis, Missouri, as we come inside the Edward Jones Dome for the THQ World Supercross GP and the AMA Supercross Series. Chad Reed has got to feel like a man on an island. Last week or 2 weeks ago, we had Villeman and Ferry working with him, and he's pretty much on his own right now.
Yeah, he is, and he needs those guys because right now Carmichael controls his own destiny, but Ricky doesn't play that way. Ricky wants to win every lap, every race, every turn, and this should be no different, Todd.
Remember, it's the SXGP.com hole shot. A little cash on the line for the rider who gets there first. The 30 board is sideways. This is the main event from St. Louis, Missouri. The 250 class is off. Ricky Carmichael on the inside gets pushed to the inside. He will not pick up a hole shot, and we have a new rider out in front, and that is an amazing ride for Danny Smith.
Danny Smith, but Chad Reed came down along the inside. Smith got the hole shot, and now Carmichael is second. This is what we've been waiting for, a nighttime Supercross. Reed and Carmichael starting 1 and 2. This is what we've been waiting for.
Oh, let the microwave dinner burn, folks. We've been waiting all year for this. Chad Reed in front, Ricky Carmichael in second. The battle is on. Chad Reed continues to lead. I think he had so much pressure on him coming out of the 125 East last year. Everyone said Chad Reed and Ricky, Chad Reed and Ricky. And a lot of people didn't give Ricky credit. He is the 2-time defending champion. And for reasons like that, Carmichael just triples out. So long, Chad Reed, he overtakes him, and Reed now making a run on the whoop section.
I'm not sure what happened there, Todd. I think he came out of the corner and missed a gear or something because he's not going that fast. So now this is where Ricky's had problems all night through the whoops. Reed coming up on the inside, and Reed makes the pass. Holy smokes.
Squares it off. Ricky knew he had the position, so he just backed off just a little bit. Carmichael now planning his next spot. And folks, I'll tell you what, we have been waiting all year for this battle to materialize, and it looks like tonight we've got it.
And now Ricky goes by on the inside, passes Reed in the same spot that he passed him earlier, and that time Chad didn't really mess up, so Carmichael repays the favor, and now we're back to the whoops. That time Ricky gets through quick.
Well, he set himself up perfectly. I think Ricky knew he wanted to have that inside line.
Just setting a fierce pace. They have completely pulled away from the rest of the field, and now comes Reed on the inside, swings to the outside, and you saw Ricky kind of stunt, or just fade just a little bit there, and there goes Reed again.
So we've had 4 passes so far, folks, and we are only halfway through this. Oh my goodness, Chad Reed out in front, Ricky Carmichael, the 2-time defending champion and points leader, in second. He cannot shake him. Carmichael, though, showing some patience right here, looking for a new line.
The last time Carmichael did that a little differently, doubled through, and that time he got back up on top of him.
Oh, Carmichael comes up way short on that.
And he's kept that bike running somehow. Carmichael kept that bike running. Todd, he got out there on the tough box. He probably got cross-rutted. We will have to take another look at that. unbelievable.
Look at Ricky Carmichael's left leg when he comes over this jump.
Yeah, he just got cross-roaded right there. You see him try to save it, stayed on the gas, but look at that. He had the fortitude to hold that clutch in. He kept the bike running, kind of minimalized the damage. Now, will we see a kind of race like we saw at Pontiac last year, where Carmichael comes back up through? Believe it or not, he's only back in 5th place.
But Ricky Carmichael is now trying to get around Ernesto Fonseca, who's really impeding his progress. He's a teammate, finally gets around him, so Carmichael back into 3rd, Smith in 2nd. I would not be surprised if Carmichael picks up Smith on this next lap, but he is 10 seconds behind Chad Reed, and that is almost an eternity with the Australian out in front. But Chad Reed is so far out in front, I think Ricky's starting to panic just a little bit, knowing that he's got about half a race to try to track him down. Ricky Carmichael's last lap time, 53.4, Reed a 53.5.
And right there, Todd, he took the high line over Smith. Now he's got a clear track. Now we'll see if he can cut into that lead at Chad Reed's.
Well, Ricky has closed down just a little bit, but I think that's because Chad has taken the time to celebrate on his way in. And your winner in the 250 main from St. Louis, the Thunder from Down Under, Chad Reed on board the Yamaha. He picks up the victory. Carmichael comes through. I can't even imagine what's going through his mind right now. And there you see the gap for the rest of the field. 1st and 2nd have gone through. We haven't even seen 3rd yet. It looks like Ernesto Fonseca will hold on to it. But for that man, Chad Reed, it has been a long time coming.
There's Fonseca.
That's a classy move right there for both of them.
All right, guys, step back. We got the champ with us, Ricky Carmichael, right here, the number 4 Honda rider. Whoa, getting a little time with Ricky Carmichael. Ricky, so much pressure around racing, and we want the people to get to know you a little bit. You're a fun guy. You like to kind of hang out, do bets with Ernesto, not shave your face, whip your motorcycle. What's your overall story, your vibe kind of deal?
You know, I have a lot of fun at what I do. You know, obviously when it's time to race, I get serious because that's just my mentality. But, you know, we always have little bets going, me and Ernie, and you got to have fun, especially to get longevity and just make racing fun. You have to have fun, but you also have to be serious.
How do you decide you're going to, okay, someone's tripling something, and you're like, oh, I'm going to quad that. How do you know?
You definitely have to have the horsepower in a section in a rhythm lane at a supercross. You have to have the correct gearing on the bike to have the horsepower to do it. And if you don't have the horsepower to do it, then you're not liking it.
What about the homestead? What's it like at home? I mean, Ricky Carmichael's got a sweet pad, I'm sure. You know, he's got it going on. Is it just, I mean, kick back all day, watch some TV when you have some time, or are you out there running laps all day?
Dude, my wife gets so mad at me because she thinks I'm so lazy, because when I get home, I take my stuff off and, you know, just plop on the couch and watch TV. And she gets so angry with me. You're so lazy, you know, you do something around the house, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, hey, I've been riding all day. I'm going to come here and I'm going to sit down on this couch and I'm not going to do anything, you know, and that's just me, though.
Hey, you know what's comforting about that? Ricky Carmichael's a champ, but he's like us layman people. Takes his socks off, leaves them on the floor. He's got a remote control. He digs his TV, man. Okay? So the champ, he's just like us. Well, other than the fact that he's really fast. So Ricky Carmichael, we're going to let you go. But hey, don't you feel like you know him a little bit better?
All right.
And we welcome you to beautiful Reliance Stadium in the heart of Houston, Texas for the THQ World Supercross GP and the AMA Supercross Series.
Reed, he's got some confidence. You got to think that he's going to come back in here and go, hey, you know, last week wasn't any accident. I can run Ricky's speed, and here he gets a chance to prove it. But Carmichael had a little bit trouble in his heat race, and usually when that happens, he comes to the main event ready to kind of fix that problem and prove that he's better than that, and that might be bad news for everybody, even Chad Reed.
The 30 board is sideways. We are set to go racing in Houston. The 250 main is off the line. Let's look and see who gets the SXGP.com hole shot. Looks like Larry Ward is going to pick up with Clark Stiles on the inside.
And Carmichael was hung up in the first corner.
Carmichael, oh goodness, it's Carmichael in dead last. He got hung up with Nick Way, number 27, and Ricky Carmichael is an absolute dead last. We'll have to find out where Chad Reed is. He's not in the front. He's about 9 positions back. Let's watch the assault of Ricky Carmichael, but right now it is Larry Ward and Clark Stiles out in front.
Well, Hamlin, watch Hamlin on the back of Reed. He almost goes down right here. High sides, whoa, almost goes down, and
Preston.
It was Preston who did a little swap right there, and then Ricky got covered up in tough blocks, and Chad Reed was able to sneak out of there before Ricky got going.
The race right now is Larry Ward out in front with Clark Stiles, a teammate right behind him, and $1,500 goes to Larry Ward, his third SXGP.com hole shot of the season. Ernesto Fonseca's in third, and there's Tyler Evans. This is an amazing race. No Chad Reed, no Ricky Carmichael, and the Hondas are going 1, 2, and 3. There's Chad Reed. He has no idea what's coming. He's working on Casey Lytle right now.
And Chad Reed is working his way around Lytle as Carmichael is trying to work his way to the front behind him. So while Reed works on third, Carmichael is all the way up to fifth. He's got a pretty big gap to catch up to Stiles. He's just entering the straightaway. These guys are exiting. They can all see each other besides the pit board, knowing what's going on. They can all see what's going on. Every time they make a 180-degree corner, they can look across the track and see who's coming or who they're gaining on. There goes Reed. That was just muscled his way in there. It's like, get out of the way, man. I got to win this race.
Well, Ricky Carmichael and Chad Reed both turning laps in the 47s. Everyone else are turning laps in the 49s. And here comes Chad Reed, just trying to make a pass around Ward. He opts for the inside line, and he gets past Larry Ward using some tremendous work on that bike. And now he's going to try to check out with 12 laps to go. It is Chad Reed in front, Larry Ward in second, Ernesto Fonseca in third, and here comes Carmichael.
I think Reed will be able to check out now and get some clean laps, but it's surprising me that Ricky's involved in this jam up. He gets around his teammate all right. He should get Larry here at the end. He'll stay about 5 feet lower off the triple and set it up. So the crowd goes crazy. I mean, it's so predictable how fast Reed and Carmichael, you just know where they're going to make the moves. There's the battle.
On board.
There's Reed, there's Ricky. That's your race. Oh, this is good.
Ryan Clark providing the helmet cam, Team Solitaire Yamaha rider. Carmichael just cannot seem to close that 2-second gap. And this is one amazing race with the white flag coming out. 1 lap to go. Carmichael has got to find a way to get Chad Reed on this lap, or Reed will pick up his second consecutive win. Ricky Carmichael starting to close in just a little bit. Reed makes a bottle, takes a look over his left shoulder. Here comes Carmichael. He's got to make something happen right here. It's going to be all Chad Reed, and I think Ricky's just run out of real estate.
Unbelievable. What
Chad Reed picks up the win in Houston. Carmichael second. And folks, I'll tell you what, from start to finish, one of the most exciting races of all time. And we welcome you to the legendary Pontiac Silverdome just outside of Detroit, Michigan. We've been coming here since 1976, and tonight should prove no different as the THQ World Supercross GP and the AMA Supercross comes calling to Michigan. Well, let's take a look at the Suzuki main event starting grid. Reed, Carmichael, Sean Hamlin's in a good position, then Larry Ward, Fonseca, Voss, Way, Stiles, Johnson, Tyler Evans is in the big show. Clark, Snell, Thomas, DeMuth, Aloff, Pavoni, Campbell, Wilson, Lytle, and of course, Brian Mason.
The first 10 feet of this thing, Todd, the first 10 feet could tell the story right here.
Well, Chad Reed, who says he's been playing golf all week, is looking good as the 30 board goes sideways. It's the 250 main event from Pontiac, Michigan, as the Silverdome welcomes the world's best.
Both Ricky and Chad got a terrible jump, and Chad gets through there somehow. Unbelievable. Chad got totally sandwiched and came out in the lead. Carmichael's buried.
And Sean Hamlin is just to his left. He picked up the SXGP.com hole shot. He squares it off, moves back into the front, but here comes Chad Reed, the Thunder from down under. Certainly it's cold outside, but he's put on the woolly jumper and he's heating things up. Ricky's currently sitting in 6th place. Good news is he's got 2 teammates in front of him with Larry Ward and Ernesto Fonseca, and they're just cheering on Chad Reed. The Yamaha fellas are saying, go, go, go.
Fonseca sitting up in 3rd, Ward ahead of Carmichael also right now. I don't think he's going to get any resistance, Carmichael that is, from his teammate Fonseca, but he just had a little bit of he tried to make a move on Ward and couldn't get it done. It slowed his progress up.
Well, Larry Ward has that big thumper 4-stroke on that long straightaway. Ricky just couldn't get the run on him. He'll find out what happens when he gets in this whoop section. Carmichael able to double out of that rhythm buster. And here comes Fonseca, clears it, as does Voss. Carmichael moves ahead of Ward. So Carmichael now up to 5th position.
He's working on Voss.
And we've got a rider down. Looks like Clark Stiles later in the pack. Ricky Carmichael, however, has no concern for the yellow flag right now. He gets past another rider.
You know that they're telling Fonseca, get out of the way.
Well, Ernesto, I don't know if Ernesto knows Ricky's back there. Carmichael will make his presence known real soon, just like that.
And Fonseca took a huge chance to make that pass. He jumped in there, landed sideways in that soft stuff. You can see Chad Reed getting away. He would be farther away if he didn't get kind of messed up on those yellow flags.
So this is how it goes, folks. Ricky Carmichael, not the best start, was back in 7th position, got into 6th quickly. Now he's in 3rd.
We're seeing a guy that's a little bit better at it right now, Chad Reed. I'm not believing it. Oh, Hamblin blows the double, and there goes Ricky. So now, Carmichael has got Reed in his sights. About a 4-second gap, 3.5 seconds about. And it's what we've been wanting to see. Can Ricky reel him in? He made an incredible charge here last year from last with his visor hanging in his face, no front brake. The bike was spent all the way up to finish 2nd. I wonder if that same thing will happen this time. Get all the way up there, but not have enough. Here's another look at the pass.
Once again, it was the rhythm buster that really told the tale. Carmichael, number 4 on the right, Hamlin, number 33 on the left, and there it is.
Yeah, the right side is better. For one thing, you can't get past. It's for 2, you can block past the guy at the end. And 3, that little 3-foot wall there they jumped that gap with isn't as steep.
Chad Reed continues to lead, number 22 behind him. Ricky's got problems. Well, he got it down to a 6-second lead for Reed, and then he got problems with that whoop section. The first time he struggled through there all night long, and Hamlin was right there to put the pressure on. So Chad Reed gets an extra second or 2 by virtue of that Carmichael mistake. It probably won't happen again.
White flag.
The white flag is out. This is the main event in the 250. Chad Reed continues to lead. Ricky Carmichael runs in 2nd. Well, I think Dave Dye's pit board says it all. It says, wow, for the winner of the 250 main. And it's an amazing way to finish. You usually get a huge whip from him. Not tonight. He gets hung up just a little bit. And Chad Reed wins for the 3rd event in a row. He gives a wave over to Ricky. Ricky responds. He's going to be upset. But let's remember, a 2nd place still gets him the points. He's trying for the title. But I know Ricky, he considers 2nd place the first loser. We are deep in the heart of Texas, in Texas Stadium, just outside of Dallas, in the city of Irving, home of the NFL's Dallas Cowboys. But tonight it's home to the THQ World Supercross GP and the AMA Supercross Series. There's your Suzuki starting grid. Reed's in there, Carmichael, Way, Voss, and Sellards, as is Ivan Tedesco's look good, and Ernesto Fonseca. The 30 board is up. Interesting strategy move. Carmichael surrounded by blue. Usually he'd want to have himself with Fonseca and maybe some other friendly riders, but tonight he's going to go head-to-head with the boys from Team Yamaha. Can Carmichael get the jump he needs, or will Chad Reed make it 4 in a row, folks? It's time to find out who's going to win. Keep your eye on the SXGP.com whole shot, and we'll find out. Drop the dinner, put the babies to bed. It's the 250 main from Dallas, Texas. Carmichael gets a great jump, but Reed slides to the back behind him.
Carmichael and Reed tangled. Reed almost went down the starting line.
So Larry Ward, the 2 Hondas out in front, and this could not be better for Team Honda right now. Ricky Carmichael will make the pass easily over Ward. Ward slides into 2nd. 27 sliding up Nick Way, and Fonseca comes into view, so it's Honda 1, 2, and 3.
Then Chad, unbelievable, look at the momentum by Chad, gets around Fonseca. That's one less Honda he has to deal with. So now it's just Carmichael with Larry Ward is a little bit of a buffer if you want to look at it that way. Then Chad Reed. Chad is in position to win the race. And now Chad has already reeled him in. It's amazing to think of what happened to Chad off that start. And he got shuffled clear back. He was in about 6th or 7th. And here we are at lap 2, and he's right on his rear fender.
Chad Reed, number 22 on the Yamaha YZ250 out of Curry, New South Wales. And here he comes. He's been faster all day through the whoop section. Chad Reed on a 3-race winning streak. Before that, it was Carmichael on a 4-race winning streak. And here's what America's hoped for all year long. The battle between 1 and 2 for 20 laps. We are going 20 laps in Texas Stadium. Can Chad Reed pass him? Can Ricky Carmichael hold him off?
Ricky, no. Every time Ricky goes into a corner, he's going in on the inside. That slows his exit speed a little bit. See if Chad can get a run.
Reed always going to the inside. Remember, Ricky Carmichael has won here the last 2 years, looking to make it 3. And Chad Reed is right on his bumper. Comes to the inside. Reed goes up, takes a look over. Carmichael doesn't see him, so he's going to shut that line down, and Chad backs off.
You know what that shows me? That Chad's confident. He's like, you know what, man, I could maybe make the pass right there, but he might square back under me. I'll pass him somewhere else.
Chad Reed right behind him every move he makes. Chad is right there, and here he comes again.
Now here's where Chad's got to be careful not to give Ricky anything extra. There you go.
Here it is. Chad Reed on the inside and takes over the lead. Chad Reed, number 22, moves into first place. Chad Reed, Australian for winning right now, and he's doing it in Texas. But the crowd is on their feet. The flash bulbs are going off, and this is an epic battle.
Well, I don't think Carmichael likes to lose.
Here it is. Ricky thought about the block pass there. He just didn't have the position.
There he goes. Look at these guys trying to be careful, not ruin a good race. Ricky doesn't want to irritate Chad and give Chad any reason to mess him up for the championship.
Oh my goodness. And here comes Carmichael right back.
This is total respect right now. They're going, all right, you know what? I could have parked that guy, but I don't want to. Respect him too much. Ricky's got to be careful because he can still get second the rest of the way, or even worse than that, and win the championship. Right now, he's just trying to figure out how he can beat Chad Reed. It's starting to heat up again now. These guys are...
And Chad Reed's getting a little impatient. Here it comes. The fans are on their feet. Chad Reed a little more power as he goes to there a little cleaner. Ricky comes right back as they make their way to the triple. And what a show. So number 22, Chad Reed, retakes the lead. Ricky Carmichael, number 4, is in second. Carmichael is your overall points leader. Chad Reed is the rookie who is trying to spoil his party in a run at a 3rd consecutive title. Look at this. Ricky looking faster through the whoops. And give credit to the folks here at Texas Stadium. They are witnessing a great race, and they're respecting it. They're cheering both these guys on.
Nobody is sitting. You and I are the only ones sitting in this whole building.
Look at this. Ricky Carmichael pops in the front. Chad Reed tries to block past him and shuts it down.
Wow. Beautiful little last-minute correction by Chad.
And now they have to start dealing with a lot of lap riders. For Chad Reed, it's all blue, so they're going to certainly give way, and they will for Ricky as well. But Ricky's having problems.
So did Chad.
So did Chad. Both of them having their problems. Chad gets a more beneficial slot as he moves back in. The white flag is out. This is the final lap. Carmichael's got to hope that Reed makes a mistake, and Ricky's got to be right there to pounce. Chad Reed trying for his 4th straight race victory. Ricky Carmichael trying to get off that 2nd podium position. And the way Chad's riding, I just don't see it happening.
Chad cannot afford a mistake through these whoops.
Reed is clean to the whoops, and now leaves Carmichael behind him. Your winner in the 250 main from Dallas, number 22, the Thunder from Down Under. Chad Reed is a perfect 4 for 4. Ricky Carmichael, the goggles come off. The frustration begins because now he has to sit for 2 weeks before Salt Lake City, and look at that.
Well, Chad just drops his bike.
Unbelievable scene as they greet each other. I know Ricky did the classy thing, but that was painful. And Chad Reed.
He's hugging Jimmy Perry right there. Ricky stopped to say, hey, way to go. Now the gap is 13.
know, I got my ass kicked tonight, and bottom line, he beat me heads up. You know, I got second. I said I got beat tonight, you know, there's no excuses.
Yeah, the race was great. I got Ricky got a great start, and I was kind of mediocre, and I just jumped in there as fast as possible. I tried to make the most of all those Honda guys in front of me, and just make a race for it. And there's 16 points, and quite honestly, I'm not even bothered about a championship. I ruined that for myself, and I'm just trying to win races and give the crowd what they paid to come and watch. Yeah, I was just standing up sometimes, just sussing him out. I wanted to race, and it was a lot of fun. It was by far the best race I've ever had.
After the Dallas Supercross, Chad Reed had racked up 351 points to lead the THQ World Supercross GP title chase. David Villeman was a distant second with 238 points, and Heath Voss sat at third with 225. Ricky Carmichael still led the AMA Supercross Series points chase with 323, but Chad Reed was closing in with 310 points, far behind the leaders, Ernesto Fonseca in third with 185.
You are looking at the Wasatch Mountains just outside of Salt Lake City, Utah, as we come to the capital city for the THQ World Supercross GP and the AMA Supercross Series. Well, the 30 board is up as we take a look at Chad Reed. We remind you that Ricky Carmichael went down earlier today in practice, had to have stitches put in his chin, 3 to be exact. And Carmichael right now, I'm sure, is not focusing on that, and we've seen it before. Riders that have injury or sickness are able to focus better on their riding. And look at the tension on that line.
Here we go.
Unbelievable. We'll keep an eye on the SXGP.com hole shot. Keep an eye on 4 and 22. They're the ones doing the battle for the points lead. And we are off and racing. Carmichael with a great start. He won't get the hole shot, but a good position. A big pile up, and Carmichael will come out relatively unscathed. But it is Tim Ferry, the Yamaha rider, who picks up the SXGP.com hole shot.
And somehow, Chad Reed is able to already get past Carmichael. That's just unbelievable. I don't know. And Carmichael jumps over Chad Reed.
Goes to the inside line.
Back. It's on, folks. Chad Reed goes back by him. 3 passes already.
Carmichael squares it off, tries to get a run on the inside of the whoop section. Chad Reed just a little too quick.
And there's
so
not
they
a Honda
4 and
inside.
5.
I guarantee you there's a little tension right there. Carmichael gets by Hamlin. Beautiful move, triples into the corner to get around. Triples up onto that plateau to stay in contention. Watch this inside. Comes out right next to Reed.
Well, he almost used Ferry as a deterrent there. Ferry's going, oh, that's my boy right there. I got to let him get past. Look at that.
Ferry gets right out of the way, but it doesn't work. Carmichael gets him.
Oh, Carmichael picks up 2 Yamaha for the price of 1. And Chad Reed on the outside. Tim Ferry on the inside. Ferry goes down into the top blocks. So now it is mano-a-mano. Honda against Yamaha. Carmichael against Reed. I've said it before, I'll say it again, and Carmichael goes down. Chad Reed clips his front tire. Ricky dropped back now to 5th place. He will go to 6th place. Is the bike still running? Yes. So Ernesto Fonseca, his teammate, sits right in front of him. Tim Ferry, who also went down, is behind Carmichael. And for Team Honda, David, this is the worst thing that could have happened. Ricky Carmichael jumps his way past Way, so now he moves in right behind Hamlin. Folks from Honda encouraging Ricky got time, and he does. We still have almost a full race to go. They're only halfway through this thing, and Carmichael already has moved up into 3rd position. And he's closing in fast on Hamlin. Look how quick he got up to 33. I don't know if Sean Hamlin was starting to think he had 2 locked up, but I think Ricky's there to say something about it. It'll be amazing
here it goes.
If Carmichael gets him right here, and it looks like he's going to do it. Wade corners it off on the apex, gets back Ricky a little quicker through here, and he'll make the pass.
Ricky,
so
looks like Ricky's got he pulled a tear off, and I think it stuck to his hand. It looked like he had it there.
So Carmichael moves into 2nd after visiting the Terra Firma here at Rice-Eccles Stadium, but the problem for him is Chad Reed is long gone.
A couple weeks, actually. That's coming right up.
Right after Vegas.
Oh! All right.
He's going to make it interesting for us, isn't he?
Come on.
White flag is out for your leader, Chad Reed, and I don't think he's going to put on too much of a show. He will pass Bob Hanna on the all-time Supercross wins in a rookie season, and it's this close to going all the way. Look at that. Oh.
Yeah, that was ugly.
And to add insult to injury, Carmichael has to see Chad go over that triple waving to the crowd. I know he didn't like that. When the flash bulbs are going off and Ricky Carmichael is not in first, something is definitely wrong, but Chad Reed is the real deal, folks. This kid, only a rookie in his 250 campaign, and he has set the industry abuzz. Number 22 on board the Yamaha, Chad Reed, the winner in Salt Lake City. Make it 5 in a row. Ricky comes across, takes a look at everyone.
Look at that, look at that. Look at this.
Yeah, we're going to have talk.
He's telling, oh, no. Look at that. Ricky's saying, hey, that's Tim Ferry's mechanic.
I don't appreciate, yeah.
Okay, and he's telling Timmy, I think what he was worried about was when he got sandwiched between Timmy and Chad, Ricky came off the triple and decided, you know what, I better jump to my left so I don't get cleaned out by Tim Ferry, because who knows where his motivations lie. So when he jumped over to his left to protect himself, he accidentally hit Tim Ferry and knocked him down.
Ricky Carmichael, the emotion is certainly not being hidden. He's going to walk right over to the Team Blue boys. He's down there right now, and he's having words with everyone on Team Blue as Chad Reed celebrates the fans here in Salt Lake. But the congregation right now is down on the inside, and we have got quite a posse. We hope cooler heads prevail, and Ricky Carmichael frustrated. I think his crew is trying to get him out of there, just saying, Ricky, take a break. There's James Stewart Sr. telling him, Ricky, just keep it together.
Look at Ricky. He's ready to kill somebody. Blood on his chin. He's had a tough night. He got up in 5th place. He fought back, still got second, did what he had to do, but he is hot, and I don't blame him. I can't, this is one of those situations where it's a championship, millions on the line, Ricky
has worked too hard to let this slip away.
So is Chad, and to be knocked down like that,
I think that's what's frustrating the most.
And Chad went in there. He went in there to make contact, and you can't blame him, though. I mean, this is what it's all about, winning a championship. And if you got to go in there and make some contact, well, he just passed Hannah, you said, on the all-time win list in a rookie season. You know how many guys Hannah knocked down?
Not Hurricane.
I'll raise my hand, So that's what it takes. And Chad's explaining that right now, and Ricky's over there. This is, how perfect is it that we're going to Vegas?
We're going to settle it in Las Vegas.
Can you frazzle Ricky Carmichael? I think that's what everybody wants to do. They all got caught up in it. I got caught up in it. Hey, you're rattling Ricky Carmichael, and that's not what it's all about. It's all about me. I got to go out there. I got to race the track. I got to put good laps together. I got to put 20 good laps together, and that's what wins races. I think that's why everybody's sitting on the sideline. On the sideline, should I say, because they're trying to race Ricky Carmichael and they're not doing their own thing, and that was why I got so mad at myself. I got caught up in it, and Ricky's won so many races, and and when somebody wins a lot, you want to beat him. You want to beat him bad, and I was one of those people. I sat on the sidelines all last year. I watched him win 24 motos straight, and I wanted to be a part of racing with Ricky Carmichael, and I think that I've learned from that, and now it's just me and Dave writing the pit board notes down, and we're just trying to do our job, and I think that's paying off for me. There's no other rider out there, just me, and just got to do the best I can. Nobody else can. Nobody has control once I leave the start gate. It's all up to me. So just got to do the own thing and keep it on 2 wheels and do the best I can.
Obviously, we want to beat Chad Reed. As for myself, I want to win. To be honest, I'm tired of getting second. You have to take a step back and not get too anxious and look at it, what we're here for, and that's to win the title. But I also want to win races, and I don't want to go out like that. And, I've proven myself time and time again. I have what it takes, and Chad is a good rider. He's capitalizing on my mistakes, getting bad starts, tipping over. But, it's every man for himself. I'm not going to sit here and make excuses. But I need to get it straight, and it's also fun to have someone pressure me like that. You can get kind of stale when you have no competition. You just kind of get in a rut, and you forget what you're doing this for, and you forget why you work hard. So when you have competition like this, working hard just justifies all that.
Welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada for the THQ World Supercross GP and the AMA Supercross Series, and what a night it'll be. A town which hosts title fights all the time is going to have a heavyweight battle tonight. It's the 250 main event from Las Vegas, Nevada. 20 riders going 20 laps, and oh, by the way, there's a title on the line as we take a look at the Suzuki starting grid. Reed and Carmichael, the two main players, factor in Ernesto Fonseca and Tim Ferry. Then it's Heath Voss and Sean Hamlin. Larry Ward also in there, and Greg Schnell, Kyle Lewis, Joe Aloff, and the rest of the crew. Ricky Carmichael, the two-time defending champion. Chad Reed is number 22, just on the left side of your picture. He is the man who is trying to take away what Ricky rightfully believes is his, a third title. Chad Reed is a rookie from Australia on the Yamaha. Number 24 is Ernesto Fonseca. He also is a Honda rider, so really what you have is Honda and Yamaha doing battle. They say no team riding. Instructions have been given.
There's Tim Ferry getting his instructions.
Exactly.
He is lined up just to the inside of Ricky, as Ricky's teammate Fonseca is lined up just to the inside of Reed. So the first corner is going to be interesting. The 30-second board has been up for a bit. It'll go sideways. At that point, it'll be a minimum of 5 seconds before that gate drops, and it's on.
20 laps of pure adrenaline from Las Vegas, Nevada's Sam Boyd Stadium. This is the final event of the Supercross year. Ricky Carmichael with a 10-point lead over Chad Reed, and the 30 board is sideways. And a great stop for all of our riders. Ricky Carmichael gets a little sideways. It's 22, Chad Reed, who gets the whole shot. Ricky Carmichael inside, currently sitting in fourth.
Carmichael trying to stay out of trouble. He's got Heath Voss in there. He'd love to get around him and just have it be he and Chad out in front.
So Chad Reed rolls the dice and it comes up snake eyes. This time the double deuce is out in front. The Thunder from down under. Chad Reed, the rookie on the 250 series, has got himself a lead. Ricky Carmichael in third, and looks like he might pick up another position. But remember, folks, if Carmichael finishes in the top 5, the title is his. Carmichael squares it off. He'll get a quicker run out of the corner, and he gets past Voss. So here it is.
He's got to be nervous. But then he blew surrounding him. He has no idea what their intentions are. He can only assume. And he just was so glad. You can see how aggressive he was, too, to just try to get away. Now Larry Ward, also on a Honda, is getting around Heath Voss.
So Chad Reed continues to lead this 20-lap affair. Ricky Carmichael comfortably in second. And I think right now, David, he is fighting a demon within. The demon that says, I am not going to take second to this guy for the 6th week in a row. But also the fact that he would really like to win the title. There he is, number 22, your leader, Chad Reed. He has won 5 weeks in a row. He picked up the whole shot and the $1,500 that goes along with it. His second whole shot of the season and a perfect time to do it.
Look how close Carmichael is flirting with the edge of that loop section. When you run that close to the edge of the track and make a mistake, you don't have anywhere to go. Carmichael giving it all he's got through that corner to slingshot out of there. He's riding as hard as he can right now. He's not holding back on, oh, just take a second. He's trying to get a close second, send a message to Chad Reed going, you know, you might have got these 6 races, but I got a title, and I got your speed.
Carmichael, number 4, trying to maintain touch with Chad Reed. But remember, if Ricky stays in this position and Chad Reed wins, as much as it'll sting, Carmichael will still walk away with the number 1 plate and the title for this year. So Chad Reed is on the white flag lap. This is it, the final lap of the final race of this unbelievable Supercross season, number 22. And that was a classy move. The boys from Honda were clapping, saying, well done, Chad, as he celebrates yet another victory, an amazing streak. Ricky Carmichael, however, has the points to take the title, so both men have reason to celebrate tonight. Well, take off your lens cap, folks. Your winner in the 250 main event, number 22, Chad Reed, and what an amazing streak for that young man. But the winner of the 2000 season will be number 4, RC Ricky Carmichael. He wins the title by 7 points, his 3rd title in a row.
Here he comes riding up to Chad Reed.
And that is a sight to behold. They all congratulate one another. Mike Gosler comes in there, Jeff Stanton. There is a lot of talent in there and a lot of phenomenal riders. But tonight, Ricky Carmichael will celebrate his 3rd Supercross title in a row. For Chad Reed, I have a feeling one of these days a number 1 will be on his plate, but congratulations to the Team Honda riders and the entire staff.
Chad looks kind of dry there. Chad, tell us about the win.
Yeah, it was a great win. It's I did what I could do, and it was kind of like one of those things I was relying on something to happen, and did everything we could, and we got the win. It's great.
It's awesome, Can't say enough for the team. They stuck behind me. I kind of fell off the second half, but I won a lot of races at the beginning of the season. And, we know we're really happy for the title, but we know we can be better and good things to come next year. I think that we improve in one area of the track. It's going to be a lot easier for me next year. My mechanic, Mike Gossler, he came in mid-string and pulled it through. He's never had a Supercross title, and, I want to win it for myself, too, but he needed to get one of those things. And, it's awesome. It was definitely a championship to remember. For sure, it was one of the hardest.
It was for the first time in years that the fate of the AMA Supercross title came down to the final race, the Las Vegas main event. Reed would take his 6th consecutive win, but Ricky Carmichael would claim his 3rd straight Supercross title by a mere 7 points. Chad Reed by no means walked away from Sam Boyd Stadium empty-handed. He would go down in the record books as the first ever THQ World Supercross GP champion. With both Carmichael and Reed returning for next season, along with a healthy roster of Supercross superstars, the 2004 season is shaping up to be the best one yet. Add to the mix the man heralded by some as the fastest ever 125 West champion James Stewart, and you have a surefire recipe for the best Supercross competition ever. In 2004, Supercross, a sport that boasts the best in the world, a series that has spread to international acclaim, is sure to outdo itself again.
The official motorsports gear is here. Get the hottest merchandise from the greatest motorsports events on the planet. Everything from freestyle motocross, supercross, arena cross, US hot rod monster truck merchandise, and more is available. Log on to motorsports.cc.com. Now we have it all. Hats, tees, sweatshirts, jerseys, videos, and much more. Don't wait. Go to motorsports.cc.com for your official motorsports fan merchandise. Now. It's all the best motorsports videos, all in one place. It's videos.cc.com. Monster Jam, World Finals, Supercross, Gravedigger, Freestyle Motocross, Crash Madness. It's the only place on the web where you can get information, watch exclusive trailers, and purchase the hottest motorsports videos. If it's high-flying, adrenaline-pumping home entertainment you're looking for, you'll find it all at videos.cc.com.
We are racing. Oh, Mike LaRocco goes down in the worst spot. Oh, no. We've got a complete pileup. Here we go, your winner, number 22 on board the Yamaha, Chad Reed.
Yep, there it is. Ezra Lusk made the pass in turn number 7 there.
With only 5 laps to go, and there you see him, Walker taking a look over his shoulder. Preston comes in tight, and both men going to the tough blocks.
Oh, look at that.
Oh!
Walker goes for the block pass.
Oh my! Oh no! LaRocco clipping the back end of Reed's tire. The main event win goes to number 4. Ricky has a bit of mistake and Reed closes him. Sellers goes in tight. Jesslyn comes right back. And the checker flag is out for Brock Sellers. And look at this! It's Larry Ward.
Oh, he's tripling it.
Oh! Ricky credit, he is the 2-time defending champion, and for reasons like that, your winner in the 125 main, James Bubba Stewart Jr. Look at this, Ricky Carmichael pops into front, Chad Reed tries to block past him and shuts it down. Oh, Carmichael comes up way short on that. And the 125 East main event is underway on the inside. A great jump. Riders going down.
Oh.
Huge pileup.
And Jessamine is out in front.
And we got more action coming.
Mike Brown doing a little block passing of his own to get around Tedesco. Oh,
Rider
no.
down.
Oh, how unfortunate. Tedesco just going, oh, come on.
Here he comes. Brock Sellers trying to make a run on the inside. Will he get the line? Kelly Smith has to shut it down for just a second, and this time Sellers gets it. The checkered flag comes out. Your winner in the 125 East main event, Brandon Jessamine.
Oh, I mean, it feels awesome. I've been working really hard on the offseason. I mean, it's showing it's starting to pay off, but I definitely want to win this championship.
30 board his side. He was willing to find out who gets the SXGP.com hole shot as they race that fourth corner wide open.
Boy, it looked like Byrne had it, and he got sandwiched as Kelly Smith again.
So right now, number 3 on the Kawasaki, it's not Ezra Lusk, folks. That is Michael Brown, 125 East contender, looking very good on that Team Green machine, cutting through the pack like a Ginsu knife as he moves up to 3rd place.
Oh, Brown, nice move, but behind, look at that battle. Oh, Laylaw's leading it. He's got pressure from Tedesco, though.
And the checkered flag is out for Brock Sellers. Like General Lee, he has conquered the South. Brock Sellers reigns supreme in the Georgia Dome in the 125 East class.
I'm where I wanted to be, you know. Had to get through the first round. Everybody was riding aggressive. People went down. I just hung in there and, you know, finished in 2nd place. And came back here this weekend. I'm like, okay, I can hang out a little bit more, ride a little bit better to my ability. Got out into the lead and rode my own race.
And we are off and racing in Indianapolis 125 East main action. Brock Sellers says, I'm going to check out as quick as possible and claim yet another victory. We got another pass. Jessamine gets it done.
He got him, so now he's up into 3rd.
Right now, Shea Bentley trying to get a good run on him. Metcalf on the inside. Bentley, oh, what a turn. And Mike Brown gets the pass. So Mike Brown has now moved in to 4th position. Look at that. Jessamine picks a great line there, but doesn't have the power coming out of the corner. Sellers goes in tight. Jessamine comes right back. Our leader is Brandon Jessamine. Mike Brown sits in 2nd, and Shea Bentley sits in 3rd. Brandon Jessamine on board the Suzuki is your winner. Picks up his 2nd victory of this young 125 East season.
You know, I had a little slow reaction on the start there, my fault, but I was able to get my Sobe Suzuki running good and coming up through the pack, avoid some of the guys falling down, and you know, get up here on the top.
This is the 125 main event from St. Louis, Missouri. Mike Brown on the inside, but he gets pitched off by Brock Sellers, and Sellers is late getting to the corner. Everyone goes into the SXGP tower, and that causes all kinds of confusion. The pack is all spread out in the back, and Sellers goes down in the corner. Brock Sellers just dropped the bike, and here comes Mike Brown on the Kawasaki on the inside. Oh, he pins it. Both men go down.
That is
and they are locked up. Here they go. Mitchell has been just getting worked on that one corner. Here he comes, squares it off, and he certainly learned his lesson there. But unfortunately, Kelly Smith gets past him. Mike Brown is really starting to close in on Steve Boniface, and Boniface just got a cue from his KTM mechanics, and they're saying, move, Brown is coming. Mike Brown currently sitting in third place. Steve Boniface in second. Kelly Smith in fourth. He wants a piece of the podium. Jessman comes through and picks up the victory. Brandon Jessman, your winner in the 125 East main event. 18 previous visits to Houston with 17 different winners. Who will it be tonight? And they're off the line. And look at this, Sellers having a problem. Gets past Tiger Lacey. So it's Brock Sellers, but Tiger Lacey comes back hard.
Nice move.
And there's a tough block in the middle of the pack back there. They all had to slow down to get around it. And look at this, Jessman gets around Brown, and Brown comes back, sets him up one more time, and that is trademark Mike Brown. Well, he hasn't won since Atlanta, but this is going to be a sweet victory in the Lone Star State for number 18 on board the Yamaha. Brock Sellers takes the checkered flag in the win in Houston, Texas.
See what I got for Stewart. I mean, he's riding good on the West Coast, and it ought to be a showdown at Vegas. I think we're a little bit faster than what some people think. It's a pretty tough coast over here.
The tension is palpable. Brandon Jessman out of Fombelle, Pennsylvania, as the 30 board is up, is on the cusp of securing a 125 East title. Everyone in Michigan wants to see him do it, except Mike Brown. As the 30 board goes sideways, we are set to go racing. This is the 125 East main event.
And Jessman got a bad start right off the bat. Both he and Brown are mid-pack.
A big pileup on the right-hand side. That slows down a lot of riders, but it's Brock Sellers who emerges first. Brock Sellers gets out in front for the SXGP.com.
And it's perfect because he's got his teammate Tedesco right behind him. And then the hardest guy to pass, Kelly Smith. Oh, he goes down.
Oh, Jessman has gone down. Brandon Jessman has gone down, number 26. He's limping just a little bit, but he is not going to stop. Team Sobi Suzuki right now has got to be just panicky. Look at Brown forcing the issue on Ivan Tedesco. Tedesco knows well enough to get out of the way. Brock Sellers, unaware of what's taking place behind him. All he can do is ride the race of a lifetime.
And he goes for the lead.
Wow, that is surprising.
I don't believe what I'm seeing here. Oh, and Sellers' bike just quit.
Sellers just plows into him. Sellers goes down. Mike Brown just plows into the side of him. Sellers' bike is just exuding smoke right now. Mike Brown is dead in the water.
Here comes Ivan. His first win, a nice whip. Congratulations, Ivan, man, you earned it.
Man, you know, I've been waiting for this for like 3 years, you know, and I work hard. And I'm just glad to finally win one.
They will win the battle, but the war belongs to number 26 from Fombelle, Pennsylvania, Brandon Jessman, the winner of the 125 East Division. A job well done.
I've been working really hard for this, and I just can't thank everyone enough. My mom, dad, Suzuki, I mean my mechanic, James. Without them, I definitely wouldn't have been able to do it.
Welcome to the entertainment capital of the world for the THQ 125 AMA Supercross Series. This is the Davey Coombs Sr. Memorial East-West Shootout. This is it, the 125 main from Las Vegas, Nevada, and it is number one, flashing the Fusa, picking up the whole shot and leaving everyone else in his wake. We'll see if the boys from the 125 East crew can match this pace, but I highly doubt it. He is shot out of that starting gate like a bullet out of a gun. Oh, James Stewart goes down.
It's a good thing he had a lead.
Well, he will relinquish his lead, and he goes back to third, trying to find somewhere to get back on the track. Pulls right in front of, looks like Gosler or Michael Byrne, and this has really shaken things up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions back. It looks like he's going to pick up another one right here on number 18, Brock Sellers.
This is where James has got to be careful. This is where he gets excited and he goes, uh-oh, I got to get back up there. And his speed is so incredible.
Oh, and James Stewart has just launched off his bike. A horrific accident. The crew will all be down there. They're going to protect him first. And David, this is an absolute disaster. He is moving, but barely.
This is what I worried about. Usually when he makes a mistake, he tries to make up for it, and he's so fast with so much ambition, and he just goes for it. Now watch what happens to him again. He comes over the finish line, and he's going to mistime these jumps. He tries to jump up out of there, and he decides, uh-oh, I went too far. I better bail out of this, but watch how hard he hits.
Oh, my goodness sakes. One of the most unbelievable accidents by the best rider maybe on the planet right now, and who would have thought it? But the speed that he was carrying through there, David, take us through here. What exactly went wrong?
Well, I think he's just, everything is going so good that his concentration is just fallen slightly, and as soon as your concentration at James Stewart's speed drifts just a little bit, you get mistakes like these.
And he knew right there he could not bring the front end of the bike up. Sorby leads this 125 main event. Short in second, Brown in third. And look at this. Sorby goes down, loses concentration. He's up, the bike is vertical. He'll get it started, but now his lead will dwindle. And David?
That was a beautiful move he did right there. He pulled the bike over the right way so he could get his hand on the clutch and keep it running. But he spent so much time trying to fix the clutch lever. There goes 3 riders right there. So he lost that whole advantage he had. Forget the clutch lever, Eric. Just get going.
So Andrew Short is your leader. We've got a battle right now as it rages off for second. Ivan Tedesco's in there. He's got Mike Brown behind him and Byrne behind him. Looks like Byrne's making a pass on Mike Brown.
That's not going to work. Not when Mike Brown's on the inside.
One more right turn, and your winner in the 125 East-West Shootout, Andrew Short.
I'm so happy for him. Man, I've watched him. Look at that. Now these guys they got a lot to celebrate here tonight.
Well, there's the helmet cam.
Say, way to go, man. They're all happy for Andrew, and it's a great ride for Josh as well.
This is more than I ever dreamed of, but this is too cool, and I'll be floating for a while, man. I don't care what happens tomorrow, next day. This is too good.
This is for the win here in Anaheim, California, as we kick off the 125cc West event. Right now it is Gosler out in front, and he is starting to get a bit of a lead. Number 41 right behind him, trying to close the gap. That's Andrew Short.
And James Stewart is in 15. He's taken every chance he's got to take within reason and then some to make up ground.
We are 4 laps into the 15-lap main event of the 125, and we've got some great racing here. It is Gosler out in front, Preston, Short, Lanovich, and we've got some juggling going on. Preston with a great move. James Stewart is absolutely flying through this course.
It's the calm before the storm because Stewart is coming, and he's coming fast.
He is putting on a show right now as he goes in 3 wide into the corner, and guess who comes out? Well, James Stewart amazingly has now moved in to 3rd position.
Stewart is close. He's close. This is going down to the wire.
Well, the gap is now down to 5.25 seconds. James Stewart using every ounce of that Kawasaki Team Chevy Trucks Kawasaki, trying to close the gap on the defending 125 champion. And here's where he may get a break. Travis Preston, encountering some lap traffic, had to slow down, and now here comes the run the whoop section. The white flag is out, and now the chase begins. Does James Stewart have enough, and does Travis Preston have enough composure to hold him off? He's got to hear the crowd roaring here in Anaheim. Travis Preston, one more left-hand turn, and the checkered flag will come out. Your winner in the 125 main, the defending champion. Just like last year, Travis Preston gets the win. James Stewart with one of the most beautiful tail whips, and what a great race.
I got a good start, rode my own race, and surprisingly, nobody fell, and I won it all on my own.
You know, I feel really confident. You know, I came up, and I didn't get tired at all. Like, about the 5 laps to go, I caught him really far enough. I got passed back and almost went down a couple times, but I'm happy. My Chevy Trucks Kawasaki rode awesome out there, and the fans were great. So, it wasn't a bad ride this week.
This is the 125 main event from Phoenix, Arizona, Bank One Ballpark on the line. Oh, Stewart getting a terrible start as he goes sideways. Oh, and he gets together with Preston on the inside. Preston was trying to sneak in there. James Stewart came down and just closed out his line. Look at this.
Oh, I don't believe these guys stayed up.
Here comes James Stewart. Has time for a whip, and look at this. Oh, my.
He's dragging the foot peg up the face of these jumps to try to scrub and stay low.
Now it's Travis Preston trying to find a line. He's going to make a fast run on the outside with only 5 laps to go. And there you see him, Walker taking a look over his shoulder. Preston comes in tight and both men go into the tough blocks. But Preston is able to ride out of it. James Stewart Jr., your winner in the 125 main.
So now he'll be tied with Travis Preston for the points lead. We got a race.
You know, I just picked through the smartest rider, and I'm end up winning.
Stewart trying to hold his line. He'll be back in the pack. You got riders down. It's number 32 picking up the whole shot.
Stewart got a little body English. You can see him just edge out. Look at the corner speed right there. Just on the gas and checking out. He's got Billy Lanovich right behind him, and Stewart's already waving at the crowd.
Well, Preston has got himself in a precarious situation. He is getting heat from both sides, currently sitting in 7th place as he hits a tough block. So adding insult to injury, Travis Preston having all kinds of problems out there. Lanovich and Sorby going at it. Lanovich on board the KTM, and look at that. Oh, my goodness. Lanovich gets the bad end of that deal, and Short gets the job done. So Short getting into the mix, looking very good.
Preston, oh, look at that. Preston's not going to be happy about that. Now another, more contact. Josh Woods.
And as they go into the corner, Sorby getting pushed out by Woods, and he's got Preston right behind him. And here he is, Preston back in the hunt, looking for a spot to close the door on Eric Sorby.
Look at that.
Oh, wow.
They both lost a position to Gosler. Look at Sorby. You can't blame him for going back to the inside, but you don't have to cut the guy off.
Yeah, that's just a straight up pinned him.
Here comes Preston again. Sorby knows it.
Yeah, he's looking at a place to pin him. Look at this.
Yeah, I just hate to see that. Here comes the big finish line jump.
Your winner in the 125 main, James Bubba Stewart Jr.
I got it, finally. I went over there and raised the ground. I was so happy. I was so nervous, and I was pumped and made it through the first corner out front. And after that, I knew it was mine. And about 13th lap, I was like shaking out there. But, you know, I got it. It's like a championship to me. Winning at Anaheim.
Some tempers flying in the pit. I wonder what was going to happen with all that.
You kind of had a feeling that some of that was going to go down because, as you pointed out, a little bit's okay, but it just got to be a little out of hand.
That first pass he pulled on me, I let that one go. But then when he started really slowing up and looking back, that's not right, and he's pretty much dead. I won't beat him up here, but I see him at the practice track, I'll get him there.
This is the 125 main event from Pacific Bell Park. Welcome to Mr. Stewart's world. Meanwhile, Chris Gosler is on the move. He has already moved himself up into 4th position, putting heat now on Pingree. As they go in 4 wide, Walker is now in 2nd. Sorby has dropped back to 3rd, and here comes Preston. He picks off his teammate, and here comes Preston and Sorby as they go into the corner. What will happen? The two Kawasaki's trying to hold off a hard-charging Travis Preston, folks.
What a ride by Preston to come from mid-pack all the way up to 2nd. Walker goes for the block pass.
Oh, my! Matt Walker just absolutely pinned Travis Preston. He had nowhere to go.
You know what? I think Preston's had enough. He's getting lapped right now by the rider he's chasing for the series.
So Stewart laps Preston, and your winner in the 125 main event, James Stewart on board his Kawasaki, picking up his 3rd victory in a row.
You know, it's like the 125 class is like the 125 novice class. There's like 3 people that can ride.
This is it, the 125 main from Anaheim, California.
Stewart looked like he got the lead over on the left.
And look at this, a great battle. James Stewart, number 259, flashing the colors for a quick look for Eric Sorby, and paint him gone.
And Preston is mid-pack, terrible start. Andrew Short pretty far back in the pack as well. Look at that, just past 3 riders. Has enough speed to jump the triple. Passes our camera boy, Tyler Evans. 4 guys he passed, so yeah, the podium is a real possibility for him.
Well, we've got a great battle for 3rd, and Travis Preston is in the mix. With just 5 laps to go, it's Travis Preston and Eric Sorby as they get ready to come up the split, and Preston is just happy to sit behind Sorby, maybe force the issue just a little bit, but this could wind up to be the best part of this race. Oh, Sorby comes up short and cases the spot where Preston has absolutely been flawless, and there he goes. Sorby now having issues with Woods. Woods on board the KTM, gets the job done. He gets past Sorby's green Kawasaki. Oh, no! Josh Woods goes down hard. His front nose catches. He goes over. Eric Sorby comes to a complete stop. It's worth the price of admission to see this. James Stewart Jr., your winner in Anaheim. We are underway in San Diego. This is the 125 main event.
And Stewart's buried in the pack. He's right next to Preston.
Here comes Stewart on the outside. Don't jinx him.
Scratch that.
Oh, my
Stewart's
goodness.
in the lead. Unbelievable.
Crack out the fine dining, folks. James Stewart is coming to dinner. Here it comes. He's starting to go past Tiger Lacey. So Travis Preston goes from 6th to 3rd in a matter of a lap and a half. But as David pointed out, he's well over 100 yards back of James Stewart. Hamlin sits in 2nd. Travis Preston currently sitting in 3rd, trying to move up another position. And for Travis Preston at this point,
there it is. Hamlin was just a sitting duck right there.
Short comes out there a little faster this time, and he closes the deal. James Stewart picking up his first victory, as Cameron mentioned, and this will be his 5th straight win. Phoenix, Anaheim, San Francisco, Anaheim, and now San Diego, California. Your winner, James Stewart Jr., picking up the victory in the 125 main. This is it, the 125 main event. James Stewart on the inside line right behind Billy Laninovich. And it looks like Laninovich will get the SXGP.com hole shot. And look who shoots to the front. Preston closing in on Short. This is the battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. First place is James Stewart. He is all but gone. Travis Preston on the outside tries to punch it in and pulls it back.
Short makes a mistake. There goes
Short.
Preston and Walker.
So Walker gets past him. So in a half a lap, Andrew Short goes from 2nd to 4th. James Stewart has a 17-second lead, and we're about halfway through this race. That is amazing. Bubba is on the white flag lap. This is the final lap, and the 125 West title will be his. Watch this.
Get ready.
Oh, my. Your winner in the 125 main and the winner of the 125 West title, number 259, James Stewart Jr. on board the Kawasaki, and he has returned to the place that was a thorn in his side to claim his first ever title. Congratulations to James Stewart.
You know, with everybody, my mom and dad, Tony Haynes, everybody's been backing me on my team. You know, Chevy Kawasaki, Mama Cannon, Jeremy Albrecht. You know, the whole team is awesome. You know, I can't thank those guys enough. They've stuck by me and everything. And, you know, it feels good to come back here at Dallas where I lost the championship at and come and win it again. So,
well, the 30 board is sideways. This is the 125 main event. The SXGP.com hole shot is also on the line at $1,000 as Stewart gets a terrific start. He will not get the hole shot. Looks like Billy Laninovich will grab that, number 132 on the KTM, but shortly thereafter, the man in fuchsia flying through the sky here at the Wasatch Mountains, James Stewart. He is the 125 West champion for this year. And David, it looks like the exclamation point is out.
Look at this. Nice. Right back in there.
Oh, Billy Laninovich drops Walker. Walker goes down hard, and here's where the problem is. He keeps the bike going, but he will lose a position to fellow Kawasaki rider Eric Sorby. You got a rider down, and it looks like Walker is down.
Oh, that's a scary section. Walker lining up for it right here. You triple in. Doesn't come close. Gets drilled.
Oh. Well, he's 20 seconds ahead, and there's still 4 laps to go. Well, it's a final charge of the line for 259. The winner of the 125 West main event from Salt Lake City, it is James Bubba Stewart Jr. out of Haines City, Florida. You know what he said? Championship is a championship. They all feel good to me, and they pay the same.
He did it once, twice, 3 times. He put it on your ass like.
You have easy nights and hard nights, and you do what you have to do to get by, you know, if that's riding hard and taking a few chances here and there. But the 250, you have to respect the bike.
Uno, those 3 times the master. Step to the brake, it's a disaster. So many wins to make you say, damn, I'm still a man, and here's where I am.
I held in there for about 14 laps and started to pull a little lead, and it was all I needed to do to win. It was awesome.
On the top of the world, looking down, in the lead with nobody else around. Fighting like this ought to be a crime. Champion the world for the third time.
I've won plenty of races, plenty of titles, but you know how this sport is. You're only as good as your last race.
The main event win goes to number 4, Ricky Carmichael.
He did it once, twice, 3 times. He put it on your ass like. He did it once, twice, 3 times. He dropped it on your ass like.
The main thing is the title, and anything other than the title is a bonus.
Chad Reed coming at you on a 250. Took a check flag in Anaheim. Now I'm showing all the world that the game is mine. Coming into town, dishing out the hurt. All you seeing is my ass and your mouth's full of dirt. The boy wanted straight from down under. Drop the green flag and here comes the thunder.
Your winner, number 22, on board the Yamaha, Chad Reed.
Chad Reed on the inside and takes over the lead.
We got to get good starts, got to be tough, and you got to fight for it.
Your winner in the 250 main from St. Louis, the Thunder from Down Under. All the confidence in the world for the Australian.
You can't stop it now. I'm about to drop it now. You see it rolling now. You can't control it now. You know you feel it now. I'm about to deal it now. You hear it coming now. Here comes the thunder now. Straight from down under, drop the green flag, in rolls the thunder.
Chad Reed picks up the win in Houston. The fans are on their feet. Chad Reed a little more power as he goes to their Carmichael against Reed. Your winner in the 250 main event, number 22, Chad Reed.
I'm just trying to win races and give the crowd what they paid to come and watch.
I'm confident in my speed and my fitness. You know, it was amazing at the end of the race how many people I was passing, other than the guys that fell. I mean, it seemed like I was putting a lot of time on them, and I thought that they would be a little better than they were. But you know, good job for Chad, and you know, it's awesome to see someone win like that, and see what happens next weekend.
I also heard you say on the podium this is actually the best you've ever started in the series.
Yeah, it is. Until tonight, my best was third, and that was in 2001. And I think I got the whole shot that night, or second in the whole shot, and faded back to third. So, you know, I feel good. I mean, I got a bad start, and I fell 2 times. I went off the track 1 time, so, you know, it's... I mean, there's not much for me to say, really. I mean, it's hard to judge me and Chad.
It feels great to win. I mean, you know, wanting to be in this position for a long time, and finally I get here. And, you know, unfortunately Ricky crashed, you know, but you know, the good old saying got me in it to win it. And if I had to be me in the back and coming through to second, you know, it'd be the same. So, you know, I'm just looking forward to next weekend, and been so much talk. You know, everyone thinking maybe I can be the one that beats Ricky, and you know, tonight I beat him, and he was on the ground, so really, maybe it wasn't fair, so I really want to beat him fair and square.
You kind of proved that these guys can't make mistakes if they want to run with you, though, didn't you?
Yeah, anyone can make mistakes, you know, it doesn't have to be, you know, anybody. I make mistakes, Bubba makes mistakes, so, you know, I just got to beat him there.
Are you bringing me in?
Clean up the pieces.
Chad, was this a better win for you than Arnhem? Because Arnhem was your first 250 win.
Yeah, for sure. all I heard at Ironman was, you know, does it feel good betting Ricky's not here? So, you know, whatever. And, you know, we have a lot of races, just like Ricky said, and it's going to be a long season. And you know, I'm preparing, working really close with Jeff, and everything's working well.
Well, I think they, you know, being that I ride the four-stroke, they kind of label me as an outdoor rider, and you know, I'm trying to change that. And you know, it's for sure, I was a better outdoor rider the last couple of years, and did a lot of crashing, Supercross, still crashing, but I'm just not in the main events. And my goal for this off season was to become a better Supercross rider, and I think to be the best, I think you have to be the best in Supercross, and then you know, outdoors is just secondary almost.
No, in the heat race, Ezra was riding really good, and you know, a couple of times, you know, I was just kind of on him, and you know, when you're in second, you find some lines, and you kind of don't have the pressure of somebody when you're leading. So, but he ran a great race. You know, I kind of got a little bit of a gap, and kind of just nearly ran right in the back of Ryan Clark, and kind of blew that. But it was a good race. It's a long championship, and you know, I'd much rather be second than third, and also much rather be first. But gotta take second when you can.
I want to touch on something that was being talked about before we all got in here, about all the banging that's going on. Is the media and the fans making too big of a deal out of, you know, the little bit of banging and, you know, rubbing that's going on out there?
No, I don't think so. It's, you know, everybody wants to win, and everybody feels they're in a good position to win, and you know, like we said before, everyone's stepping it up, and everybody's going to win. And when you want to win, everybody's running the same kind of speed, and you know, you need to pass. Ezra put 2 aggressive passes on me this weekend, so, you know, I know what to expect from him now, and it's going to be great. It's going to be a long season, and I'm just looking forward to it.
It was fun. I mean, I had a lot of fun this whole weekend. Just kind of jumped into it yesterday right off the bat, trying to get some good laps in and trying to ride here with Ricky and Chad. And, you know, I don't know. It's hard to say what made it click, you know. Just kind of being in the truck, you know, hanging out with Bubba and stuff, being 17 years old, just a young kid out there, you know, and just being around him's kind of positive too. You know, him winning a lot, also winning the championship last year, and I don't really know what made it happen this weekend, but I knew I wanted to come and do good, and I guess just the whole deal with my wife about to have a baby just kind of got my mind off of everything else, and just came and. Bubba's bet me my baby's black. But he won't be at the next race if that's true.
The baby comes Wednesday. Possibility that you'll miss Saturday in Anaheim?
No, there's a possibility that Bubba might miss Anaheim. No, Nate. No, I won't miss the race for sure. I think. No, I won't miss the race. But I had a lot of fun, you know, definitely with these guys up here. You know, this whole aggressive racing deal everybody's been talking about. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, and aggressive racing has been around for years. Everybody's just kind of making a big deal out of it, you know, and now the leaders are doing it. And, you know, me and Chad got into it at the U.S. Open, and it was no big deal. You know, we kind of hung out after that, and me and Timmy's got into it, and we're best buddies. And this is the level that it's at right now, and everybody's just going to have to, you know, enjoy it, because it's just not, it's only going to get better from here.
It's just stating that official that can fine me $1,000 and not give me a warning ahead of time, but yet the first round you also can hit me on the finger with a flag and fracture my pinky finger, and you know, I have X-rays to prove it. So, you know, it's just drama. I'm trying not to let it get to me. I'm just trying to ride the best race I can, and you know, do what I get paid to do, and that's to race motorcycles. And I know how Ricky Carmichael feels, because I just got booed by 60,000 people for, you know, for no reason. But like I say, you know, it'll come on ESPN next weekend, and I'm sure everybody will see it. And you know, it's racing. I mean, competition's tough this year. You look at lap times, we all run the same lap times in practice, and it boils down to a good start, and you know, it's going to be action, you know, it's going to be bar banging. I didn't cry about it when they did it to me, you know, when Preston took me down. I didn't cry about it. Yeah, I was mad, but I didn't go on TV and say I hated French people or I didn't do, you know, a lot of stuff that I could have done. You know, I man up to it. I take it like a man, and you know, like I say, what goes around comes around. And you know, he got what was probably coming to him. You know, he crashed, but you know, it's called karma, and you know, that's about it.
Yeah, the incident with the flag. What exactly happened?
Well, it didn't actually break my finger. It was a hairline crack, but I guess you can call it a break. Eric Sorby and I cut the track first lap of practice in Anaheim, and Duke kind of blew up, ran across the track, and he hit me in the finger, or he just kind of whacked me with the checkered, whatever flag he had in his hand, I don't know. And you know, he hit me in the hand. I was like, shit. You know, I looked at my hand, it was all swollen up, and
It's like a mommy dearest kind of thing, huh?
you know, I was freaking out, but I never said anything to anybody about it. You know, it's one of those things where you don't want to let people in on it, you know, that you got a broken finger. But if you look at it right now, that's about as straight as it'll go instead of like that. So, you know, I'm not saying anything about it till now, but I'm only saying it because I'm getting fined $1,000. You know, I got second place tonight in front of 60,000 people, and I think what do you get, James? About $1,500 to win the main event. I probably get $300 for getting second, so I'm in the hole $700. I'm not feeling too great right now, I can tell you that.
Any other questions?
What's worse, that crowd out there or all these people laughing right now?
No, they're laughing with me, not at me.
All right.
James, do you think you can continue to run this fast? Because I mean, the biggest difference is a lot less crashing and a lot less, maybe not even crashing, just the physical mistakes on the bike, not the mental ones, but the physical ones.
Yeah, you know, today I felt horrible. Like, I think I was like 5th fastest in my class, and you know, coming in the main, I was just like down and stuff, and you know, I didn't feel good at all. And I just happened to get a good start and just rode my own race. And even in the main, I didn't feel good, and I came out with the victory.
Didn't you give him $1,000 to Matt?
You have enough money to give him $1,000.
You know, like I think I take out dinner. No, I think, like, you know, I don't think Matt did it on purpose. You know, even, you know, Sorballs last week Eric Sorby. You know,
that was a nice light.
You know, it was crazy. You know, I just get out front around my own race, and you know, next thing I know, people are fighting. You know, Matt's getting fined $1,000 for a broken finger, and you know, I just ride, and it's crazy out there. You know, I just happen to get a good start, and I'll leave it all in behind. But you know, I don't know. It's so much dirty riding going out there, and luckily I don't have to do it all, any of it.
You just look like a different guy tonight.
Yeah, just you know, try to take things differently. You know, the bike is the same. I didn't change anything, and I just went out there and just with another mind, just going and have fun and just trying some stuff, and you know, try to ride pretty smooth and stuff. So it worked out pretty good this weekend. You know, Red Cross flag is for a triple. You know, that's all. There wasn't a triple, and I didn't think I was taking a risk to jump on anybody. You know, Red Cross flag is to roll a triple jump and a finish line jump. You know, I didn't think I was jumping in because I didn't think it was a big deal. You know, so that's all. You know, did I pass them on the Red Cross flag? No, I didn't pass anybody. I passed them in the woods. You know, if you don't make a mistake in the woods, I wouldn't pass them. You know, that's not where I passed them. You know,
it's not like the rule book. It's not clear.
You know, so it says.
I'm not trying to ostracize you.
You know, so there's a Red Cross flag in the woods. You're gonna roll every of them. You know, you don't know.
I just want to know why you.
They go.
You didn't. That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
I just think the guy.
You go to rider meeting. They say triple jump and finish line jump. Some of the finish line jump are dangerous. You roll them. You know, right here. This. You know, it was tripling or double, single double. It was. You know, everybody did that. You know, if you double, you can triple them. Yeah. You know, so.
It's just confusing. I just want
It just says that you're not supposed to, like, danger the rider.
Yeah.
I mean.
I didn't go side by side and jump on the guy. You know, I was behind. You know, that's.
All right, we'll move over to Chad Reed. I want to touch on something right off the bat because it's something that David brought up. Start so important we've said it for the last 5 years, but really tonight we really saw it firsthand. I mean, you had to work to get up to second, and you even burned the fastest lap, and you still couldn't reel in Ricky. I mean, once it gets past 2-3 laps into a race, it's fairly easy for a guy of your guys' caliber to check out and put enough distance.
Yeah, it's tough. It's everybody can go so fast, and it seems like everyone's getting more on the pace. There's a lot of people that think they're the only people that can run 20 laps, but there's more and more people that can do it now, and it's tough. You got to get a good start, and you just got to put the laps down and try and stay out of trouble, because the beginning of the race is the kind of the scariest part of the race. It's just everybody's going everywhere, and so just for me to get a whole shot like I did in Phoenix and Anaheim 1 is my motto.
Yeah, it was good this weekend. It was important for me to win and back it up from last weekend. I got good starts and stayed away from trouble, and I feel like I'm getting a little stronger now and missing out on the first 2 races. I think I think I'm coming back around. I feel like I'm getting close to where I was at the end of the year last year. I feel like I'm stronger 20 laps, but my speed's slowly getting better. I just think some people have a little more heart and desire and put a lot more into it than other guys. Some guys are just out there racing, and some guys are out there putting everything they got into it, and that's where you see the difference. I mean, if you see a guy that's charging, he's putting everything he has into it, and you see a guy that's just off the pace a little bit, he's a guy that is just out there collecting a paycheck.
What happened when you went down, Ricky?
Well, through the second set of whoops there, I just got by David and started going too fast, actually, and just missed the whoop, and my front end went over. I was going through them in 3rd gear, and I usually do 2nd gear through the whoops, but I figured I'd try 3rd this time, and made a mistake. It's pretty embarrassing for me, to be quite honest with you guys, to be doing stupid stuff like that. It's been 3 races, and every time I've crashed, 3 out of the 6 races I've lost. So it's really frustrating. But I know I have what it takes to win. It's just, I can't make mistakes like that, and so I go home and regroup and don't do it ever again.
Okay. Passing it over to David Billman, who got a great start. It's a great history here in San Diego. 2 of his last 3. His first 250 win ever was right here. David, your impression of the race, it was a terrific start for you.
Yeah, I got a 2nd place start, and it was really good. And I passed Byrne the first set of whoops, and it was definitely very good to start in the front. Those past weekends I was trying to cash from the back, and after that, Chad rode really fast and he passed me, and Ricky passed me again. I think I had a really bad line of whoops, and I was kind of not very comfortable, and Ricky just crashed 10 seconds after he passed me, and I had to ride over his bike, and I almost crashed too. So after that I lost contact with Chad, and I was kind of by myself in 2nd, so I couldn't catch Chad, and so I just rode my own race and tried to stay 2nd.
Okay, let's pass the mic over to Chad. At one time, one lap over here, had 50.6, I think, and you had a 50.5. It looked like it was going to be one heck of a finish until Ricky went down. Chad.
Yeah, I think it was going to be interesting. We sat in the truck before the race, and tonight was going to come down to a good start. So pretty much the 3 riders, we all sat down there with Jimmy, and we're just like, hey, we're gonna get these Yamahas up front, and just be aggressive and fight for it. And I was pretty happy to see David in front and me in 2nd. And from then on, I just kind of sat in behind David, and I had a little better line in the whoops, so kind of went past and just tried to ride aggressive.
It is an extraordinary experience, however, in your first year in 250s to have a real tight points race and one where you're hanging around with 9 points. Now it's down to 5. You got a shot at this thing, Chad. What's it like in a race like this with Ricky Carmichael?
It's fun and it's exciting. I'd be lying if I didn't say that. It's I've been watching, Ricky a long time on videos and things like that. He's only, a little older than what I am. And, I remember sitting at home in Australia and just, it's so far away. And, to race Ricky Carmichael or Jeremy McGrath is kind of like a dream. And, I wanted it so bad. And I got a good chance. And, Yamaha's backing me 100%. And, I'm just trying to pay them back what, they gave me. They gave me a really good life and something that I've been chasing for a long time. And it's, I love it. It's fun.
Not growing up with knowing about Ricky's career in the amateur ranks, do you feel that you're less intimidated?
I disagree with you, being in Australia and racing in America is like, I can't even explain it, it's huge. And, and when I was racing, as a young amateur and things like that, these guys got the chance to race Ricky Carmichael. They got to be brought up with Ricky Carmichael. And, I was, a 15-hour flight away. And, so for me, it was just, I think it's more intimidating because you put those people on a really big, pedestal and you think that they're, they're non-human, And I remember the first time I ever met Jeremy in Bercy Supercross in 2000. It was like, damn, I would walk behind him on the track and, he was like the king. And I was just like, it's really him. And he looks so much different in real life. And, and he spoke to me just like a normal person, and I just realized that, these people are human and, whatever they can do, I can do. It doesn't matter what countries we're from.
We had a rather challenging question here from the press box that was sent down, and they wanted both yours and Ricky's comment on your reactions to comments about a quote in the paper this morning where Ricky allegedly said, "Chad is full of excuses." Well, we'll give you no problem, Ricky.
Sometimes you believe what you read and sometimes you don't. And it seemed like I think everyone was trying to get that one going. It seemed like everyone was showing me it, and it's interesting, and he didn't want to comment on it. I don't want to comment on it, so we'll just leave it be.
Ricky, would you like a comment on
it? I didn't. I can't believe it. It's funny, Somebody needs something to talk about, Everyone is looking to get stuff stirred up. Last year when me and David were battling it out for the title, and when me and Chad going at it like this, it's that's the funny thing about reporters. They need to give something. They need to put the spoon in there and stir it around. I think I give a lot of people respect, and I'm not going to run my mouth. If I have something to say, I'll say it in front of everybody. I'm not, it's ridiculous. I don't read papers. I don't do anything because it's all, it's all hearsay. So that's what I have to say.
Do you find it extraordinary that you have a shot at second place in the points in your first year in 250s in American Supercross?
There's been people ahead of me that's won it in their first year, and I don't see why, I shouldn't have that attitude. And I was brought up to, want to win. And if I didn't want to win, I wasn't going to be going to the races because, that was what racing was all about to me. And, my dad would kick my butt, If I wasn't winning, sometimes we'd miss races, or, if I was winning easy and I'd start clowning around, we'd put the bike on the trailer and I had to go home. So, it's all about winning, and, there's no better feeling than winning. Sitting where I'm sitting right now sucks, and I don't like it. So, I got to get back up on top.
Okay, moving on to David Villeman.
Hey, first of all, I want to remind you something. I had a rookie season too, and I think I was pretty good as too. I won 4 races, and I beat McGrath in Phoenix, starting 10th. And I haven't seen anybody beating Ricky like that, lately. So just want to put everything back.
Absolutely, that's why we have your shot at it, David.
Yeah, he was a legend at the time. I beat him like 4 times that year, and he was my rookie year. I think every year you need
to find somebody like, hey, this guy is coming out from anyone, it's gonna win. You know, I think you need to mellow it out, and Jeremy won his first year, rookie. 10 wins. That's all I wanted to say.
Good. I was just the messenger, David.
Just tell your guy upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good race. It was like, one of the first race of the year. I felt pretty good, I wasn't that fast in the E-race, and, that kind of the pass with Chad, and he went down and kind of messed me up, but I started like 5th in the main event, and I was really aggressive the first few laps, and I got second pretty quick, and I was like 4 or 5 seconds behind Ricky, and he stayed like that a long time, and I was trying, and seems like I haven't done that in a long time, so I was kind of happy for it, and and after a big bird came and kind of messed me up a little bit, and I lost a little time, and but I'm still happy. I'm in a good way right now, and my body's feeling way better than it used to be, and just next week is a tough one coming, and just thinking about that, and trying to ride a strong race next week.
Any more questions? Ricky, you've been nodding your head yes at most everything David Villeman said.
I thought his first comment was awesome about his rookie season. I mean, he gave Jeremy a hell of a run. I mean, yeah, you got to, he had a phenomenal rookie year, so that was cool that he stepped up and said that.
The Indy crowd treated you different this year.
Yeah, I mean, they had a little mixed emotions there when me and Ezra got together. I mean, anybody that races knows that I could have beelined it and really, try to kill him. I don't want to badmouth anyone. I'm not going to badmouth. The day that I retire and hopefully I can write a book, maybe I'll say some stuff in that. But until then, I'm not going to, I don't want to play games. I can play games, but that's what separates me from everyone else and the guys that are up here tonight. No one up here played any games, and, I can ride dirty too. I can be a jerk, and I can go out there and jump on jump on them and kill us both, but I ain't gonna do that. I'm out here trying to win a title and along with everyone else, and I'm just trying to stay away from everybody. But him and Chad are buddies, and me coming along and winning a lot and having success. I think that Timmy's had a hard time with that, and that's not my fault. I've put 110% in it. He's had every opportunity that I have. He's on a good team also. And, it just sucks that I always have to look behind my back when I'm racing, which I can deal with that. That doesn't bother me. But it kind of makes people look bad. Like if I would have crashed in the heat race and then got back up and caught him, then it would have looked bad on him. I don't have a hard time. It doesn't bother me when people ride like that if they can back it up. But if they can't back it up and go the whole 20 laps or 8 laps for that, you don't have a right to be doing it. And that's it.
What was running through your mind as far as that battle is concerned, and how many laps do you think you can go, the two of you, like that? It doesn't appear that it can be sustained an entire race with the two of you.
I know I can go the whole distance, and it's just a bummer because dang, he's been behind me at Anaheim and Daytona, and every time I get behind him to do the same thing, I screw it up for myself. So it's like, I can't. It's just that's the most frustrating thing. It's fun to ride behind someone instead of someone riding behind me all the time, and I don't know. I guess I'm just not used to that and make stupid mistakes. So I'll try to fix it. But the whole time I was thinking, this is fun, and finally I get to follow him and pressure him for a while instead of him pressuring me all the time. But I didn't hold up my end of the bargain.
It was, it was interesting leading into this race. I felt good. I, had a chance to have my birthday weekend off and turn 21, and, I kind of thought that, now I'm a real adult, so maybe I should start riding like one. And so, I just got that out of the way, and coming into this race, I felt good. I was the only team rider on Yamaha, and I felt good that I could, maybe, pull one off for the team, and then we get here, and and the track reminded me a lot like Pontiac last year. I don't know if anyone else thinks that, but I didn't really like it a lot at all. And it seemed like every time I went out, I would do a new jump or, try something different. And it just was like a weekend of learning the track. And, I was, got a good start. I really wanted a good start, and got that. And from then on, just, was racing with Ricky. That was a lot of fun. It seems like he's been, winning a lot of races and, made us all look stupid in Daytona. So, after that one race, I definitely went home and, tried some new things, and seemed to have worked this weekend.
Yeah, Chad, when you were dicing with Ricky in those first few laps, were you thinking to yourself, hey, at last I get a chance to do a full main event, or at least the start of a main event, a close race with Ricky like that?
I wanted a good start coming into the race and just race the track. And then, I went into lead straight away, and Ricky was right on me, and, I made a little mistake. And, I was kind of happy because I wanted to follow him over that one jump that I hadn't done. And, the next lap he did, and I followed him. And my bike's really good in the whoops, and I felt that was, where the race was going to be won and lost, to keep consistent in those. And so just, I think I passed him one time in the whoops, and, he passed me back. And it was, I was looking forward to it. I can go 20 laps, and it was just, the fans were into it. Everyone wants us to race together, and, I'm sure the two of us don't like riding together. We want to race as well. So, it's just, we're trying to do what everyone wants us to do. And unfortunately, it seems like when it happens, one of us crash.
Chad, what was the deal with that section where Ricky fell? It looks like you guys both had some trouble there. What was going on?
It was a pretty tough section. It's, the straightaway before it was really tough. It seemed like every time I went down there, I was like, just had my fingers crossed, not, I was going to make the jump. And then, then you went into the next corner and you had to go double and then go triple. And it was really, kind of deep and kind of steep. And it shot you up pretty high, and it was deceiving on how hard to hit it. Normally those jumps are really easy to hit, but this one you actually had to, gas it pretty good. So.
Ricky Carmichael only 2 wins away from the most wins in 3 consecutive Supercross seasons ever, as Jeremy McGrath had 33 in 1994 through 96. And Ricky, of course, 14 wins in 0-1, 11 and 0-2, and 7 this season. Finding it tough to get to number 8, Ricky.
Oh, yeah. I fell down in the first turn, so it made the rest of the night interesting. And, coming from behind makes it tough. I seen where Chad was, and, that's the only person I really cared about. So I just try to keep trying, 100% every lap and try to pass every rider. And once we got past the halfway mark, I really started to put in some good laps, and my lap times were really consistent, and I felt really strong and started to chomp away at Chad's lead. And I thought I was going to catch him when we had about 5 laps to go, and I wasn't fast enough. I was fast enough to catch him, but I needed probably another quarter second a lap to make it past. I rode fast enough to catch him, but not fast enough to pass him, and it made it tough. But rides like that are good for me, and I knew that I was closing up. So I hope my bad luck is running out here. I've had some things go wrong, and hopefully I can get the ball rolling next week at Pontiac.
Well, 2 disappointing races in a row. Second place is disappointing to Ricky Carmichael, the former 2-time champion. So how do you handle that? Do you try not to think about it? You don't not let panic set in?
Definitely, the championship is still good. I feel that I have what it takes to, I'd like to win, the rest of the races. I feel I have what it takes. There's no problems there. I just need to get good starts and stay away from trouble like I've done in the past, and, just get the ball rolling. And that starts on, Monday morning, and putting in a good week, and, making the best out of what you can every single day, and that'll prepare you for the next weekend.
Any questions for Ricky? Yes.
When you got up off the ground, was your was your first thought, where's Chad? I mean, it just seemed obvious watching from up there. It looked like that was the very first thing on your mind.
Well, yeah, because he's the guy that's in second place in points, and that's the guy I need to be concerned about to secure my championship. And I need to know where to set my sights and know what I needed to do, and how hard I needed to ride. And I seen where he was and was keeping an eye on him. So when I got up, I just got everything situated and try to put in 19 good laps.
Any more questions for Ricky Carmichael? Well, he made it tremendously exciting. A lot of people holding their breaths, including your mechanic. I thought he was going to, There's some media people that get a lot of their information for their articles and so forth through this press conference that aren't here, and so we might go over one more time, Ricky, one of the most important parts of the race for you, and that is what had happened when you went down.
Well, I got a decent jump, and Travis Preston got a better jump than I did, and he beat me to the first turn, and he hit somebody, I think, and fell down, and I ran into him, and I fell down, and I was dead last once I got up. So, I knew I had a long main event cut out for me. But, yeah, he fell down, and I ran into him and fell down also.
Okay. Thanks, Ricky. That gives Chad Reed a lot of time to think about what he wants to say. Congratulations, Chad, on your second straight win. And I know it was an interesting win for you because of Ricky's excellence behind you in trying to catch you.
Yeah, for me it was a good race. I started pretty much the same as Ricky did. I didn't go down, but I think I was a little lucky that I was a little taller than what he was, because everyone was bumping, and then all of a sudden he was on the ground, and then I was going down, and somehow I just found some ground to step on, and those first couple of laps, there's a lot of people in the main event that definitely I'm not used to racing with, and I was pretty scared, kind of just trying to be careful and not go down and dig myself a bigger hole. I knew Ricky went down, so I just needed to kind of play it smart and just get by everyone and get into the lead as fast as possible and try and put the laps together.
Chad, last year Ricky lost 3 races the whole year, and you won 4 this year. That's quite an accomplishment. How do you feel about it, and do you think this is the start of something, or?
I sure hope so. Ricky's a great rider, and he works hard at what he does, and to get to the point where where he's at, you need to work as hard as well. And I think there's a lot of people out there that aren't up here, and they don't work as hard, and I think it's definitely comes down to the people who work hard. And definitely Ricky motivated me, winning 24 motos and sitting back on the sidelines watching it was interesting, and it was interesting coming in the season, just because when somebody wins so much, everybody wants to beat them, and I think that's normal, that there's going to be competition, and it never seemed like somebody was going to step it up, and I'm happy that I can do it.
Well, you're headed toward one of the best rookie years ever. Of course, Jeremy McGrath with 10 wins in his first season in 250s in a championship has to be on top of the list, but David Villeman would probably come next, and you're on the way of erasing his various marks with your 4th win, 5 second places, 1 third place here in his first 250 season, and you're to be congratulated.
Yeah, thanks. Everyone have a good rest of the weekend. See you next week.
Okay. Brandon Jessamine, congratulations on the 125 East title. It was a little reminiscent. A little reminiscent of 2000 in the 125 West when Shea Bentley was going for the championship and crashed, and then Pingree took 2nd place and then had to turn around to see how far up Shea Bentley got before the championship was decided. But you put a scare into your fans.
Yeah, I put a scare to myself as well. But the main, I just got not so good of a start. I was putting a lot of pressure on myself. I was really nervous for this race, and just all week trying to not do anything stupid and get myself hurt or there's so many things that go through your mind when you're the week before the championship's decided, when you're in the lead, which I've learned this year, and now I know what to expect if I'm, heading into another championship series. So at least now I know what to expect, and I won't be so nervous and make some of the mistakes I made tonight.
We do have some questions from the internet, as well as some questions from the press box. Ricky, what needs to change?
Well, obviously I need to get a little bit better start, and I always think there's places for me to improve on out there on the track. Chad's riding really good, and I know where I need to be faster, and just go home and no need to freak out on anything. I still feel that I'm pretty good, and just work on a few things to try to make it easier on the race. So, I'm not going to freak on what happened tonight. Just go home and try to better myself.
This is David Bailey, and I'm watching you getting through the whoops, and you start to get squirrely, and to all of us, it looks like you're going down. I mean, do you feel like you're going down, or, how do you pull that off all the time?
Well, if you talk to Rick Johnson, he says I have a lucky horseshoe stuck up my, but, I just think that, obviously that one lap I thought for sure I was going down, but I just try to hang on, and I thank my trainer that that I'm in good shape and I can hold on to that thing. I have a lot of strength, and, 4 years ago I would have been sitting on the side of the track because I wasn't strong enough. So a lot of times, it's spooky, but damn, when you're trying to catch up to someone, you gotta hang it out a little bit.
Okay, let's go to Chad. And first of all, a general impression, of course, of the race, Chad. I was standing next to your mechanic, and he was pretty worried. He was jumping up and down, and every signboard said, more, push it, more, push it.
Yeah, Dave's pretty funny, Seems like I'd like to know what it takes to not get, go now or push more on my pit board. Every weekend, I could be winning, Anaheim 1, I was way out in front, and he's like, come on, more, we want to see better lap times. And I'm like, all right, we'll see what we got. But I think that helps, to keep me in line and to keep those times, pretty even and things like that. And, tonight the track was a tough track. The whoops were, I think, the key. My bike is awesome in the whoop, so I was feeling good going into that, and just needed to get a good start. And came away not with the whole shot, but coming out in the lead, and then Sean passed me back again, and then I had to kind of mad dog it down the whoop, so I didn't have to mess with him. And then from there I just just me and Dave, we just worked together, and he gave me the pit board, and I was just doing my hardest.
Most everyone is interested in your opinion up and down the line around the world about the pass.
We came together and I fell. I'm not going to go on about it. I'm not going to dwell on it, but I definitely won't forget it. I'm in a tough position. There's things that I think about and things that I have to protect, and Chad is going to have to do that and hope for something on my side to go wrong. He's not just going to come in there and pass me fair and square and blow me away. He's going to have to come in there and try to take me out, and hopefully I fall down and, smash my pike or something so I can't finish. But, there's nothing for me to say other than I fell down.
Questions? I have more from the press box, but if we have any here in the room, let's go with it. What about the situation with Tim Ferry, then, Rick?
Well, thing was, he kind of let Chad by there on this side of the, the strip on this side,
yeah,
on the west side of the track, and when he looked back and he seen me, I seen he was going to hurry up and try to cut in front of me, but luckily I got in front of him, and then I was able to make a move on Chad at the time, and then I looked over to my left and I seen Timmy do the double, and I heard him just grab a handful, and he was going for me in the turn. No matter what he says or anyone says, I just find it funny how he's here this weekend, and they have to make something happen, and either way you look at it, and but I think we would do the same thing if we had to. But
So as far as that goes, you know, there's a lot of jealousy and bitterness, and
Between what you talking
between Timmy and you know, I think that he's had a hard time with my success. You know, he was always better than me as an amateur, older, and then I came up and started doing really well, and you know, ever since then he's just, you know, kind of things have changed since I've been winning, and it just all stems from stuff like that. All that stuff adds up, and you know, I'm not. You won't see me, you know, next week going in and trying to deliberately take someone out and, you know, knock them in the cheap seats. But you know, there'll be a time and place for that. But it's definitely not next weekend or this weekend.
Okay, let's go to our winner, the 5th straight week. Chad Reed, you certainly made things interesting, Chad.
Yeah, tonight was somewhat interesting. You know, it pretty much started from practice yesterday. The guys at Yamaha definitely worked hard on my bike, and it was my first time riding in Salt Lake, and you know, everyone told me how slow the bikes were here, and you know, I really didn't think that they were going to be that slow. So, you know, they did some hard work, and you know, we had the best bike out there, and I think just my starts were definitely down this weekend again, and you know, we came together with Ricky on the start, and you know, from there it was just trying to get to the front as fast as possible, and you know, win the race. It's the heat of the moment, and you know, Ricky seems to be a little pissed right now. You know, that's his deal. And you know, everyone seems to be you know, thinking Timmy's out here to help me, and you know, the real truth to it is my relationship with Timmy right now isn't that great either. So you know, whatever him and Ricky got going on is up to them. And you know, I did my job tonight. I won the race, and you know, once I got out front, put some good times together, and you know, I felt I was the fastest guy out there. And, you know, I had a great race.
Continuing on that, from the press box, they were wondering what happened between you and Tim Ferry. Is there anything that set it off?
Nothing really. It's just Timmy's in a, you know, I think a difficult situation. He's you know, he got sick, contract time's up, and you know, whatever. But you know, we'll work things out, and you know, nationals are coming up. I'll go back and you know, ride on his track in Florida, and you know, we'll work things out. You know, be professionals and do what professionals do and work it out.
Questions from our media here.
Yeah, Chad, what's your side on the pass that Ricky fell over afterwards? Is it a clean pass or whatever? Anything going on there?
I think it was pretty much what Ricky said. You know, when it seemed like all three of us were together on the triple, and you know, I was kind of, you know, off to the right and out of the way, and next minute I see a red bike going flying across, and then a blue bike going flying through the air. You know, that was, and then I looked around and Red Dog was on the ground. You know, basically, you know, it messed Ricky up, and I had a good run down the whoops, and you know, I put it in there. You know, I made a grafty's pass, and he went down.
Jamie?
Chad, in opening ceremonies, Jeremy McGrath said, you know, he's so fast and he could possibly be quicker than me. And I saw your eyebrows kind of raise. What was going through your mind at that time? I know that he has been your hero. You always looked up to him.
You know, Jeremy's a great guy, and you know, I think that he's the best champion we've ever had. You know, he's a real professional at what he does, and you know, throughout his years, I've seen a lot of incidents, and you know, he dealt with it, and he was professional about it. You know, I think that my hat's off to him. And that's why people love him, because he made the right choices at the right time, and that's why he's the best we'll ever have.
Thank you.
Jeremy McGrath is here. Thank you.
You know, it was a good race. I mean, I got beat tonight. No ways about it, really. I mean, so, you know, I just need to keep working. I think that it was a really close race. You know, it basically comes down to mistakes. You know, Chad's riding really well as myself. I think I can get, you know, a little better. I believe I always can be a little better. Whoops for one place, and you know, and Chad's really good through the whoops. So obviously I need to improve there. I feel, you know, there's areas where I'm better than he is. But you know, it was a good night. You know, it's really frustrating for me not to win, but you know, that's sport.
I have a question for you, Ricky. James 13, Chevy Trucks, Kawasaki.
Okay.
What advice would you give 125 riders stepping up to 250 class?
Well, you know, it's funny you ask that. I hear so many guys like they want to move to the 250 class, and I'm not talking about you, obviously. They want to move to the 250 class, and they can't even win a 125 Supercross. So how the hell do you expect to come into a 250 class, be competitive when you can't even win a 125 Supercross race? You know, they're just ripping the factories off with money, basically. It's unbelievable, and the only guys that do good really in the 250 class are people who have won 125 championships. Everyone sitting up here has won a 125 title.
Damian Dottori, I believe it's pronounced, from the Orange County Register, called in, and because Chad has won 6 and having a good season, has it changed your approach to the end of the season now?
Well, I mean, as far as my approach is, you know, I just want to win the title and try to go out with a couple wins. That's my goal.
Steve Bird again. Ricky, since you and Chad rode so close for the entire 20 laps, did your race strategy change after the midpoint? Like with 10 laps to go, did your strategy was probably okay, patience, I can do it.
Yeah.
And then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, as it got close to the end, did your strategy change?
Well, not really. You know, I was trying to ride calm the whole night. Like I said, I felt like I was fighting a little bit. So I couldn't get too anxious. You know, it was hard for me to really make something happen. The dirt was a little slippery, and you know, I just had to keep telling myself, just stay calm, just stay close, and you know, hopefully he'll make a mistake. And you know, he really didn't. He may won the last lap and mess up the red lane, but I wasn't close enough to capitalize on it. So you know, if I would have been a little closer, maybe something would have happened, but it didn't, and we go on to another weekend.
Okay, let's go on to tonight's winner. Chad Reed, his 6th victory of the season, ties Bob Hanna's most wins for a Yamaha rookie. 4 in a row now for Chad. Let's open it up, Chad, with your general comments and impressions of maybe what Ricky said.
You know, the race tonight was great. It started off in practice. I really liked the track. It was a lot of fun. I think it was a pretty challenging track with the dirt and everything like that. It seemed like you know, we'd go out sometimes and the sun would bake it, and then we'd go out sometimes and it was wet. So it was kind of, you know, you had to be kind of on your toes finding traction out there, and I think that was the key. And my start this weekend was terrible, which kind of bums me out because I've been working pretty hard on my starts. And but I was lucky enough to, you know, just make, you know, the best of that first lap, and you know, I came straight away to second, which was what I wanted, and kind of just, you know, from then on it was just, you know, race Ricky and just have a good race and try to keep it on 2 wheels, and that was the result.
Even though you had so many lead changes, did you feel at any one point in the race where you wanted to see what he was doing and maybe not come right back at him at that moment?
Yeah, there was times when I just didn't think it was the right time to, you know, go, and I just, you know, just kind of showed him a wheel and just made it a good race.
This year you've done it, gosh, I think you made mistakes in the first half of the season, and now you seem to be pretty much flawless. And I know you say you train a lot, but what else do you attribute to you being so good so fast?
I play golf a lot. But I think, you know, I think a lot of people get a lot of things mixed up. This is, you know, by far not my first year on 250. I've been racing 250 since '98, and you know, last year was tougher than this year for me because I never raced 125 professional. I had little experience on the 4-stroke, and this is where I feel comfortable. And you know, I had a lot of critics last year from, you know, commenting that I wanted to go to the 250 class, and that was where I really wanted to be. And I think that it was just, that's where I feel comfortable. I've been riding this bike a long time in Australia. You know, you can't make a living riding 125s. I think like a sign-on fee is like $5,000, so it's not real good. And you know, I definitely wanted to make a life out of motocross, and so I went straight to the 250 class. And you know, having a dad like my dad, he was pretty, you know, pushy, and you know, I was to get on that bike and I was to win, so I definitely think that helped.
Let's move on to our champion, our newly crowned champion, the 125 West, James Stewart. A little bit different scenario than last year here in Dallas, James.
Yeah, it was definitely different. I was thinking about that the whole night coming into this race too. You know, basically, you know, this whole year with my team, Chevy Trust, Kawasaki, you know, everybody, you know, my mechanic and everybody, it's been so different. And you know, the first race helped me out with my confidence. You know, coming from last to second, I knew I had the speed, and you know, won at Phoenix, and I was pretty much been on the roll since then. And the off season didn't go to, you know, the greatest for me. You know, in those 8 weeks, feels like the season opener today. And so I felt this came out a little bit better than the season opener. But, you know, I'm going to just try to keep it rolling. I'm going to try to get through Salt Lake and, you know, Vegas and carry my momentum into the outdoor series.
Let's open it up. Terry.
Terry Boyd, James got a question for you. You know, we talked about 2004, read off a list of names that could potentially be up there in the 250 class. I left your name off on purpose. Any chance that we will hear James Stewart in the 2004 Supercross lineup in the 250 class?
You know, with me, I would say there's a pretty good chance. You know, I feel good, and you know, I would say it's a pretty good chance. So, you know, we'll see. I'm ready for Ricky, Chad, all of them, and it's gonna be a great season next year, and hopefully we can have a three-way battle like it was tonight.
James, Jim Hawley, SX Live. James, you put on a phenomenal race, especially in that heat race. You just went away. I'm back here in the back.
All right, I'm like, where you at?
What's do you think in order to ride at 250 you have to get a little bit more stronger yourself and also mentally stronger to go up and run the pace with you know, Chad Reed and Ricky Carmichael?
Well, back at the house actually for a couple of weeks in the off season I rode 250 a lot, and I was actually way faster on the 250 than I was on my 125, so I'm really looking forward to doing that. But all I want to say is that next year I'm going to be jumping a lot, so I don't want to be responsible for anybody, you know, getting hurt for me jumping something. So, you know, I basically just jumped my whole track at the house, so, you know, I'm actually looking forward to, you know, stepping up and, you know, either riding the West or East Coast, so, you know, it's definitely going to be good, and I'm going to just jump a lot out there.
From the comments of the other riders who have made the transition, the outstanding riders, what have you learned from them as far as that transition to 250s?
You know, I think I had enough of the first year crashing last year. I'm over it. You know, it's not that cool. And, you know, I can watch Travis coming up getting hurt, and, you know, Ricky. You know, everybody pretty much struggled except for, you know, Chad and McGrath on the first years. And, you know, I kind of want to be like them. But, you know, I think I learned a lot, so much from last year that, you know, it kind of scares me if I think I even do anything close to I did last year. So, you know, I'm just trying to go out there and have fun and, you know, try to win a couple races.
James, Pat Schutte, Cycle News. I was just going to ask you about the 259. Tony Haynes was here tonight. Have you had a chance to sit down and talk with him a little bit?
I actually talked to him before I came here, and you know, running around with all the fans and stuff, and you know, the media and stuff, and just getting all, you know, clogged up in, you know, just a race. So we really didn't talk a lot, but you know, Tony's a great friend, and he's always been there, and it actually takes a lot of dedication for somebody to get hurt like that and, you know, still stick around the sport. So, you know, I got to give my hats off to him. He's a great guy, and, you know, I don't know where I'd be without him.
James, Jim Hawley, one more question. If you do go to the 250s, are you looking forward to doing the world rounds? I know Kawasaki didn't compete in the first 2 rounds over in Europe. Would you like to go over to Europe and compete in the World Supercross rounds also?
Yeah, you know, we haven't really got that far in talking to it now, but, you know, if you're going to be a champion, you might as well be a champion everywhere. So, you know, I'm looking forward to racing the World Supercross, you know, U.S. Supercross, any Supercross you guys want to put on, I'll race it. So I'll be there.
Any more questions for our new champion? Congratulations, James.
Thank you.
And Matt, Travis as well. Your feelings going into the race and knowing you did what you had to do?
You know, like you said, I just did what I could do, and we're just sitting in the truck, and pretty much the whole shot thing was a little unexpected. I'd been working on it a little bit, but I guess me and Timmy kind of had a little competition going. Last week he got the whole shot, and I only had one whole shot, so he had a competition with me that who could get the next whole shot and, you know, be the champ at that. So I just focused on that, and from then on it was just to do the job, and, you know, I could see Ricky wasn't really charging. He was just doing what he had to do, and so it was kind of, you know, whatever happened, what happened. I just had to put good laps together and get the race over and done with.
And hope the bike stayed together.
Mine, yeah.
Chad, you got one of your wishes. You're getting to the 250s on the American circuit against the best in the world, as you put it before. Now looking back on this season, you have to be satisfied with the performance that you put in your first year.
You know, you can be satisfied, but you know, I'm a racer and I want to win as well. And you know, there's always thoughts that, you know, if I didn't really make dumb choices at the time, maybe I could have been in a better shot. But I made the mistakes that I made, and you know, I learned from it. And I think that, you know, I guess I made my mistakes in the right year. So you know, hopefully I got all that out of the way, and next year will be, you know, a new year for me.
Let's go to our champion. Congratulations, Ricky Carmichael.
Thanks. It's good, you know. Hats off to Chad. He rode great this year. He's a great competitor. He was really fast, and you know, it's like himself and Bubba are kind of the new era of racing. You know, I watch those guys, and it's good for me because I learned a lot. I think that you know, there was Jeremy, and then I came along and stepped it up, and then, you know, now Chad has stepped it up, and Bubba's next. So I hate to see the guy after Bubba. I know, man, that's gonna be a frightening sight.
What did you have to go through mentally, as well as your normal physical program?
Well, things were going really good, and then after Daytona, I started changing some things, and I kind of got off the beaten path. And when you got a guy like Chad that's riding good, and you can tell he's super comfortable, you know, I kind of think I took 2 steps backwards, and you know, it's hard to get, you know, a rebound from that. And you know, at the same time, I'm trying to ride protective. But every year that I've raced, there's always been, you know, it seems like there's always a new guy. You know, the first year I raced, you know, I was racing the best motocross best racer in the world, Jeremy McGrath. So, you know, that was a challenge, and you know, I had to deal with him all year. He was fantastic, and then last year, obviously, David Vielman, he was, you know, awesome, especially, you know, the couple of times he flat out beat me, and you know, he was a great competitor. And now this year was Chad, and you know, each year it always seems like there's someone new, and Chad was the guy this year, and it was fun. You know, it's fun for me to have a challenge and to have something to work for instead of just, you know, not having any competition. It's good for the sport, and it's good for myself. And when you do win a title, when you have a good competitor like Chad, it makes it that much nicer.
Was there a point tonight during the race when your strategy may have changed, or you thought more championship than race win?
Well, definitely. You know, I wanted to race with Chad and you know, get up there and just race. You know, a normal race, kind of like what we did at Dallas. You know, I wasn't going to subject myself to anything. But you know, he got a great start, and you know, he rode really good, and I couldn't reel him in. You know, there was some laps where I would catch him a little bit, then I make a mistake in the whoops, and he pull back out. And you know, every time I would try to go faster the whoops, I would get a little crazy. So I had to take a step back. And you know, when you got a guy that runs the same lap times, or if not faster at times, it's hard to make up time if you know, I'm not perfect. So that's when I have to take a step back and, you know, just say, what the hell, we'll go for the title. But you know, I learned a lot this year, and I definitely know I'll be a lot better next year.
Gentlemen, thank you for making it one of the most competitive, intense 250 championship rounds we've seen in a long time.
In the shootout in Vegas, it's not like Brandon's going to say, like, I can beat him. You know, if they want to race, I'm here, and I'm all game for it. We can do 15 laps or, you know, whatever it goes. That's what I'm waiting for.
Well, I mean, it's hard to say unless you actually go out there and race against him. I mean, James looks like he's a notch ahead of everyone there on the West Coast. You know, on the East Coast, there's a lot of us that are about the same speed, about 4, 5, 6 of us that can win these races. And, I mean, we'll find out at Vegas for sure.
To me, it's just another race. I'm just getting ride against 15 people or 20 people I never rode against in my life. Well, since the West Coast, and you know, the East-West shootout is definitely gonna be really good, and hopefully for me, I hope it'll be a good battle for second and everything, and just try to get another good start. And here lately, I've been pretty decent on the start. It's better than what I was last year. So
his pluses are, I mean, his speed is so fast out there. Usually as fast as the 250 guys. I think one of the key, characteristics of his speed is his corner speed. It's just he goes around his corners so fast. He kind of has a style of his own through the corners if you really watch him compared to other riders. He just flows smooth, effortlessly through the corners and at speed. He stays low off the jumps and he goes through the whoops really fast. I mean, so if you want to go out there and beat him, you're going to have to be on your game for sure.
I'm looking forward to the East West Shootout to get to ride against him and everybody from the East Coast, and I'll be ready. Tell him to bring it. It's already been brung over here.
Red Dog is what his buddies call him. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to call him or not. It's Tim Ferry, the number 15 factory Yamaha. Timmy, I want to ask you, you've been having a good season, good couple of seasons. You used to be a factory rider, then you went privateer, now you're back on the factory. Talk about the road between there and here.
Oh, it was pretty tough. I had a couple of years where I wasn't factory, and then I got picked up by Chaparral Yamaha riding from McGrath's team, and kind of stayed from there, and now I'm back riding for Yamaha.
Well, your two Yamaha teammates are riding 250s. When you guys are out on the practice track, or even when you're on the Supercross track, I see a lot of teammates that kind of work together on the track. Are you guys able to do that even though you're riding different motorcycles? And because you guys are so close to the points at the top, do you work together like that?
No, not really. Not once the race starts.
You don't like those guys, is that what you're saying?
No, I like them. I like them after the race is over. No, we don't really play any team tactics right now. Maybe later in the season. We might, but for right now, everybody, it's kind of every man for himself, as I say.
We had a championship in 1997. Are you feeling like you're back on top of the game where you can get this championship? Are you at that point?
Yeah, I feel like this is the best year for me. I mean, I'm further up in the points than I've ever been, and started the season off better than I ever have. And this is definitely going to be the year, if I'm going to do it, if I'm riding better this year.
Well, definitely consistent. I see some of the guys aren't totally consistent. What's the difference? Supercross seems like it's a little tougher than the outdoors to stay consistent all the time. Is it just the obstacles or the type of setup, the quick racing?
I think the tracks so far have been kind of a little bit different than what we're used to. The whoops last week were really big, and guys were crashing in those.
Oh, Mike LaRocco goes down in the worst spot. Oh, no. We've got a complete pileup.
I don't know. I think the track's a little bit different this year, and everybody's going fast, and everybody's really pushing it. And when you got guys that are riding on the edge, somebody's going to crash.
If you dye your hair black again, we're not going to be able to call you Red Dog much longer. What's up with the black hair dye? He's trying to steal my style, right?
Actually, I saw you, and I just tried to copy like you.
Right on. Well, he doesn't want to be like me on a dirt bike. He wants a championship. Tim Ferry hanging out. I mean, the guy is super cool. Everybody's looking for him to win, and I feel like you're pretty close.
Yeah, I think so. This should be the weekend. I hope so, and definitely wanting to win.
There you hear it. He wants to win. He's ready to go. All right, folks, well, some of you guys might remember this little kid back in the Disturbing the Peace freestyle motocross video that couldn't even work on his motorcycle. Well, Matt Walker has certainly grown up. He's the number 30 on the Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Walker, was that true you couldn't work on your bike?
Back in the day, I think I could, but it was one of those things you might as well, let them do it. But now I'm a little bit better.
I could be mistaken, but I think Ricky Carmichael was doing the tuning. Any chance of him working on your bike nowadays?
Man, I'll have that dude cleaning my truck if I wanted him to.
See, that's what I like. You guys, anybody at home, you don't know Matt Walker. The guy's fun. To tell you the truth, he's a little hard-headed. I mean, he walks around here kind of with a little bit of a scowl on his face, but that's only because you really want to win, right? You won last year.
Yeah, last year I won, but I mean, it's tough. I mean, I ride for the best team out there, and they put a lot of pressure on me to win, and I don't know. During the week, I'm a good guy. I mean, I'm a humble guy, and then when I get to the race on the weekend, it's all business.
You're not afraid to flex.
I'm not afraid to flex or, whatever it takes, to show off. But all in all, I'm a humble guy, and I'm just here to do my job and win races.
There's some guys that get sick. Like, I see some of these guys, people overtrain sometimes in the sport. I know it's not a factor for you. You're just buff and cut and ready to go at all times. But is that a factor in racing?
I think a lot of people take it a little bit too serious. We're not training for marathons. We're not training to be a professional cyclist. We're trained to be motocross racers. So I don't see how you could overtrain by riding every day. Eating right and living right. It all falls in, the hands of God, and I'm sure it'll all work out if you just live a good life. I think a lot of people take things a little bit too serious, and that's why they overtrain or they get burnt out or whatever they call it.
Well, he's definitely not burnt out. He's not overtrained, but I'll tell you one thing. If you come to a corner at the same time as the 30 bike, get on the brakes, because this boy will put you down if you have to. All right, peeps at home, don't be nervous if you see red all over your screen. We're in the Honda pits hanging out with the number 24 of Ernesto Fonseca behind us. Kenny Germain's, wrenching on the bike, getting it ready for Ernesto to go out in session. Ernesto, first thing I want to ask you is, the people at home have been seeing you test the soil at a couple of the races lately. I know you're a little banged up and bruised. What's been going on with that?
Just, it's been tough this year. I crashed a lot, and I think, we've changed a lot of things, and I don't know. I don't even know what seems to be the reason. I think I've crashed for coming seasons and stuff already, so I got to be done with that, and hopefully it's over.
You're from Costa Rica, all right? You're supposed to be like a pro surfer, not a pro motocrosser. What's going on?
Everybody keeps asking the same question. Like, even when, the crowd and stuff, everybody knows Costa Rica for its surfing, and they always say, oh, this beach and this other place, and I'm like, I've heard about them, but I haven't really been there, or I don't even know how to surf. But it's just funny. I grew up as a kid just riding motocross. I got lucky, got picked out by a factory support team, and then came up and rode with factory Honda, and these days trying to stay off the ground,
Is there an added pressure being on this team? It's something different. It's just you and Ricky over here, and obviously you're riding with your teammate who's won all these championships. You feel like a little bit of extra weight?
You know what? It doesn't really feel that way. I know it's probably the most prestigious team out here and stuff, but it just, I love it. Everybody gets along really good out here, and they just try to do the best they can do. And same for Ricky and me. We go out there and try to do the best we can do, and it seems, pretty mellow and stuff.
But this guy's ready to do some winning, getting on the podium, have some fun. Maybe we'll get a turnaround here. Now we did this interview, ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, hopefully this is a turning point for me.
There you go, locked and loaded, Ernesto Fonseca. All right, well, I'm sure this guy doesn't need much introduction. The number 3 Pro Circuit Kawasaki, Mike Brown, chilling out with us. He's got some titles, 2001 Outdoor National Champion. That's pretty solid. He's from Tennessee. Want to ask you, Tennessee, we don't do Supercross there, and want to ask you, what's Tennessee all about? Tell the people at home.
NASCAR. That's everybody cares about NASCAR. I live near Bristol Speedway there, and everybody close to me is all in the NASCAR, and Supercross is getting big. A lot of people where I live, they know that I race and all that. It's getting big.
People know you like they know, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Are you a recognizable face when you're cruising through the airport in Tennessee?
Some places, yeah. It's not as big as Dale Earnhardt Jr. or nothing like that, but much as we get on TV now, it's helping out a lot for sure.
What else do you do besides ride dirt bikes? We know you go really fast on the Kawasaki.
Not much. I play golf, and most of the time I'm staying at Ricky's house. I have been hunting once in my life, and I went with Ricky, and I killed a deer, and I ain't going back. I was in Georgia. No, it scared me. I did kill a deer, and I wasn't happy with myself about that. But other than that, in Tennessee, it's always raining on board there, it seems like.
You ever feel like young guys are not as respectful to the older guys? I was talking to a couple other guys in the 250 class, and Ricky said, maybe sometimes guys don't respect the championship or the guys that have done so much for the sport, and they come out and they want to show how great they are by kind of taking on the guys that have been around for a while. You feel that?
I can see that a little bit sometimes. Like last year at the National, Bubba Stewart was coming up, and first practice at Glen Helen, it was just me and him battling it out, and we both crashed, and a few words said there, but like you say, they want to come out and straight off the gate, they want to be the best out there, and it's good and bad. It's just how bad you want to win.
We're certainly glad to have Mike Brown back. It's good to have you over here. Love watching you race, and I love watching how hard you work on the track all the time. You flow, but you can always tell that you're not giving up, bottom line. If you fall down or if you're back in the pack, you're coming no matter what, right? Some guys give up.
That's it. You do. Sometimes I look like I give up, but I get arm pump. I don't ever give up. I just slow down a little bit.
Right on. Well, Mike Brown chilling out with us. Now you know a little bit more about Mike Brown, Tennessee, Europe. Hey, you guys are getting educated here on ESPN. Well, I've caught up with the 103 Sobe Suzuki, Sebastian Tortelli, and we've seen him on the podium. I have to ask you first off, the relationship between you and your new coach, he's champion in 86 and 88, Ricky Johnson. How is that helping?
It's been like 3 months we're working together. It's been great. We've been working out hard, and we just work on basics first, and get the emotion going on, and that was good to go overseas to these 2 first races of the World Championship. We got to know each other for 2 weeks better, and Tony, my mechanic, was with us. It was a good time, and we keep working every day and making good steps, but strong steps. So I'm very happy.
What I liked the most about Sebastian was when he approached me. He said, "Let's talk. Let's find out if we like each other, and then we can see if we want to work together." It wasn't just like, okay, it wasn't out of desperation.
No, we do part of our training. We do some jiu-jitsu with Chris Bannon, and we train together. That's the way for me to warm up, and it's motivation also on the same time. When you get contact, and that's pretty aggressive contact right there. So when you get on the track, whatever happens, you can handle it.
Sebastian, he'll do anything I tell him to. If I say jump a quad that no one's jumped, he'll jump it, but he also knows that I will not put him in a dangerous position. So his commitment to do whatever it takes, stay up all night, sleep all day, whatever it is, train hard, make sacrifices, that's what's going to make Sebastian Tortelli champion.
You came into Supercross, I think, riding 103. You won at the LA Coliseum. Then you rode the 13. I want to ask you, are you superstitious? I mean, obviously not. You took the number and ran it. Do you feel bad that you ran it? Do you regret running the 13?
I always very happy about running the 13. It was a different time, and everybody wanted me to change number. There was a new year, a new bike, new things going on, and I'd rather change number. It's a new guy out there. Different colors, everything is going different for me and as my life as today. So why not start from something fresh and with a good memory on it?
Well, the 103 seems to be working out for you. You liking the number? You feel like you might hang on to that one for a while?
Yeah, sure. I feel comfortable with it, and I'm looking forward to a one-digit number. So 103 would be good until then.
Until the one digit, he wants the one digit, I think is what he's trying to say, and that's all he has to say. He's not superstitious, and he wants the number one. Enough said.
All right, peeps at home, if you cruise by the Factory Connection rig and you see the number 39 bike, it belongs to Chris Gossler. Chris, I know you've been racing Supercross for a while. In the off-season, you got a main event win in Paris. That give you some super energy going into the season?
Yeah, Paris helped out a lot. It gave me a lot of confidence coming into the season. I've been working real hard in the off-season. I really want this championship this year.
He looks like he wants it, doesn't he? At Anaheim #1, he had the fastest heat. He won that heat.
Chris Gossler out of Corona, California, on board the Honda with an amazing hole shot. And the checkered flag comes out for your winner of heat #2.
Going into the main event, you wanted to win, but your teammate beat you, Travis. That's got to be frustrating. What goes on inside the semi when stuff like that goes down? And does he play with you because you won the heat, and then he beats you in the main? What goes on in there?
Yeah, we have our little jokes. After he beat me in the main like that, I didn't even want to come back to the truck just to hear his crap. But we're real good friends, and anytime I can beat him, I love it.
Now we notice most Supercross riders, they always wear the hat and stuff, but Gossler here is looking so pretty in GQ with the hairdo. I just want to ask you, is it like a dogfight in the semi? You see who's better looking, you or Travis, or is it hands down you got this thing dialed?
Oh man, there's no competition there. Ladies can't resist.
There you go, a confident Supercrosser. All right, give us some predictions for the rest of the season. I know you want the championship. Start out with the 4th place finish at Anaheim. What can we expect from you for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I want to be consistent. Hopefully podium every weekend is my goal. But if I can't do that...
Your goal's winning, come on. You told me a little bit ago, just because we got this is the microphone, the dead cat on a stick up there. You got to talk to the mic and say, I'm going to win.
Yeah, I need to win one this year. If I don't win one this year, I'm going to be really bummed.
All right, well, we'll tell your family to hide the knives and all the sharp objects in the house because, if he doesn't win, it could get dangerous. Goss, we'll see you out there. Have some fun, and, back up to you guys upstairs. All right, this week we're checking in with one of the rock stars in training, Andrew Short, coming up with a 3rd place finish at Anaheim 1.
Number 41, right behind him, trying to close the gap. That's Andrew Short.
Andrew, dang, you kind of surprised some people, taking the Moto World Suzuki right to the podium right out of the gates.
Yeah, I was really excited. I went to Europe to get ready for Anaheim 1, and it helped.
You went on the 250, and I think there's a lot of people, including myself, that said, whoa, check this guy out riding the 250. Was it hard to jump back to the 125? You're doing top 10s of the 250s. You're probably thinking, all right, where's Carmichael? Where are these guys? I'm ready.
No, I got to do good in the 125 class first. That's why I was really happy to do good last week. And I felt good. I was a little tight, but not as tight as I would have been if I didn't go to Europe. So I felt good, and hopefully this weekend will be even better.
You're riding with Pingree all the time. That's got to be a little scary because that guy's all over the place.
Yeah, I ride with all my teammates, and King's the only one who's popping off the comments, and he keeps it fun.
Gossler fading just a bit here in the early going. Andrew Short gets around him as well.
Everything's pretty much the same this weekend. Our bikes were really good, improved last weekend. Our whole team got really good starts all week, and it was a lot of fun. So this weekend should be good, and I'm ready.
Now that you know the podium's no sweat, But what are you figuring? You going for the win, or you just want to make sure you get podium? And tell the truth, too, because there's millions of people at home watching you right now. No pressure at all. What are you looking for here?
My next goal is definitely to win. Last year I got a top 5, and then the next goal is top 3, and so now my goal is to win, and it's going to come sooner or later.
There you go, Andrew Short. He's going to win one sooner or later. I guess we'll have to sit back and watch. One of the coolest things about Supercross is how close the fans actually get to the riders right here, the Team Yamaha guys signing up. What I think we ought to do is take a look around the pits and see what really goes down during the autograph session. Abused over at the blue pit, I thought I'd come over to the red pit and see what's going on. Ernesto, I got this autograph. I know you're working with the fans. Hey, is anybody having a good time here yet? Yeah, all right, just making sure everybody's having fun. Ernesto, check out Billiman, Too Loud. I like to see what kind of respect I can get over here from the 24 bike. It's pretty cool working with all the fans, or what?
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, we're here having a good time. The track's great, and hopefully we'll put on a good show tonight.
Hey, RC, I know you're busy. He's busy with the peeps, you guys, so we're just going to roll on over here. Check it out. David Milliman says I'm too loud. What do you think?
No, I think you're the best one in the business.
Nice, Saran. Ricky Carmichael, give me some love over here. Ricky, the peeps are hanging out. How many autographs do you think you sign a day? Like 10,000?
No.
Million?
No,
2
just
million.
like in 200 maybe. 200? Just in an hour, so that's pretty good.
You ever get like, you worried about carpal tunnel or anything like that?
No.
No, you got good
It's
fitness.
all right here.
It is. That's just a mental thing.
It's all mental.
Well, he's a champ. He should know what's going on over here.
You've raced before.
Yeah, he's on the cover of the program too. He's really good, guy. We'll let him be with his people. I'm out here. Well, one of the coolest things about Supercross is the interaction the fans have with the athletes. Here I am stealing Sebastian Tortelli's chair. We're over here in the Sophie Suzuki pit. Everybody gets to meet their favorite rider, and that's what everybody wants to do. Come in, see the stars, and watch them ride. So let's check them out as they do some autographs. Right there, that's Travis Pastrana.
What's up, y'all?
Personal interaction, that's what it's all about. Ezra Lusk, getting personal. Like, he's so intent on being with the fans, he doesn't even know we're here. We're just like, oh, never mind, he knows now. I'll back up a little bit, that's Ezra. What up? How's the fans, Ezra? They're pumped up? There you go. Not yet. Hopefully they will be when their lights go out. I'd say he's got a couple fans. I'm not really sure. You got some fans, Mr. Stewart?
I don't know. I don't know if they're here to get a Yogi's autograph or mine. I don't know. There you go. I hope so.
Is it tough being new to the sport and having so many fans, got to deal with it, you know, kind of like, is it hard work or is it fun work?
It's fun work, you know, like it's fun when like you win and like they're all like screaming and yelling for you, but you know, it's hard work too, but you know, you got to keep the fans happy. They're the one who buys the tickets and everything to keep us going racing.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank, the people at Clear Channel for, making such a great championship. And I feel very honored to be the first world champion. I think it's something that, everybody's going to really make into something very awesome. It's, I left Europe, to take the chance to become the U.S. champion. And I was lucky enough the world champion, followed me. So it was a pretty cool thing. And, I want to thank them a lot. I think in the future it's going to be a great series with, everybody doing it. And definitely the team that, is behind me. All the guys at Yamaha just for, really supporting me and giving me such a great bike. I think Yamaha won every race of the World Championship race. So I think, it says a lot. We were the #1 team, and we had the team, manager of the year, and it's a great thing. I think, a lot of people's happy. And, I thank them personally, Bob for building me such a great bike, Corey for my suspension, Dave for, tuning the bike, and, putting the numbers on the pit board. The other mechanics, Timmy's mechanic, David's mechanic, Jim Perry for just being such a great guy and really supporting me a lot. And definitely my girlfriend Ellie for supporting me, keeping food up to me during the week, during the race weekend. She works very strongly and closely with my trainer Jeff Spencer, and fortunately he can't be here tonight, but I want to thank him a lot. And all the guys at Thor and Parts and Limited for giving me a great chance and really believing in me, taking a chance, and it's great to give them a world championship. I want to congratulate Ricky on his AMA championship, Bubba and Jessamine. I just hope that next year we can, get a hold of that McGrath championship. It sounds very good to me. Thanks a lot.
Well, as you guys can tell, I had a little accident last night. But before I start anything, I want to say that I'm kind of bummed out that I didn't get the whole shot award. I got one last night. And nobody thanked me for it, so, I'm kind of bummed. I want to let you guys know that. But, this season was great. It was a lot better season than last year. And, I was on a 7-race win streak until last night. I had a little accident. But, we got to move on. I got the outdoor season coming up, and unfortunately, I'm going to miss the first couple of rounds. But, I can't do it without my mom and dad. My mom, she's been there the whole time. My dad has. My brother, Malcolm, he's always giving me crap all the time about what I'm doing wrong. I love you guys. And, I want to thank my team, Chevy, Trucks, Kawasaki, everybody, my mechanic, Jeremy Albrecht, J-Bone, he's did a great job. Fortunately, last night I was trying to get the East-West shootout, but didn't happen. I want to thank the new team manager, Mark Johnson. He's been a great, person to me. Bruce Sternstrom, my suspension guys, Graham and Sergio. Motor guy, Rick, unfortunately he's not here. He's out there getting ready for Glen Helen. And I tell you what, that guy never leaves the shop. And, Ross, we just, Ross Hector, he's been a great part of my life and everything, and he's a great guy. And then I want to thank, my sponsors, Fox, Pete and Grant Fox, Scott Taylor, Anthony from Oakley, Boost Mobiles, I just recently got a sponsorship with them, Adrian. Bridgestone, Doug, he's one of the best tires out there. Clear Channel, Todd Gendro and Charlie Vancuso, those guys, we can't do it without you guys. Thanks for having me up here and everything. And, the Dirtworks guys at AMA, you guys doing a great job. And I just like to thank everybody for here. And I'd like to congratulate Ricky on the championship he just won last night. And Brandon Jessamine, I wish we could have raced together, but don't feel bad. I didn't end up finishing the race either. So, thank you guys.
Well, I'd just like to thank everyone that made this championship possible. I mean, everyone at Sobe Suzuki, Mel, Roger, my mechanic James, Rob, RG3, Randy at Michelin. I mean, Fly Racing, Alan and Terry, Scott, Alpine Star. I mean, everyone that helped me win this championship. I've been working for it for a long time, and it's just. I mean, I don't know what to say. It just that's everyone's dream to win a championship, and. It's been a long time, but I mean, it feels so great. I mean, no words could even come into play to how much it means to me, but it's just great, and I'd like to thank everyone. Thanks.
First off, I'd like to say congratulations to Jeremy and his family on a wonderful career. It was awesome to be, to race you, Jeremy. It was an honor just to be a little part of your dominance, and I never thought that I would race you the time you left me in the lake crying when you was trying to teach me how to ski, but I was able, I never thought that I would see the day, but man, it was an honor to be on the same track as you, and man, you're awesome. For the title, man, it feels good. A third time, I definitely didn't expect to be up here when I was a little guy, but it starts with the people I'm around the most of the time, and that's my wife, Ursula. She's around me nonstop at home, and deals with the stuff. My mom and dad, my mom comes to the, riding with me and practicing. A friend of mine, Terry, is the best man at my wedding. He knows me like the back of his hand and kind of gives me the support when, the support is needed. As any champion knows, you have some key people in your corner. My trainer, Eldon Baker, he does a great job. The crew at Honda, I'd like to thank Mike Gosler. I had a new mechanic about a quarter of the way in, and I took a number 1 plate from him in '97, and I was able to give it back to him last night. So, I'm pumped for you, and thank you. You do a good job, and I'm glad to see that. I'm glad the night it's over for you. You're getting stressed out there, man. Cliff White at Honda, sticking behind me. Eric Kehoe, team manager. Thank you much. Mike Batista, suspension guy, and the rest of the team at Honda. Thank you very much. Fox Racing, Scott Taylor. Thanks for, he's another guy in my corner that, without these people, it would be hard to be champion. You have people that just goes out of their way and do for you, and, it's hard to, lose sight of or it's easy to lose sight of who does things for you. Scott, thanks for taking care of other things than just gear for me. Dunlop Tires, thanks for trying your hardest and trying to give me the best tire out there. I know it can be a pain at times. Clear Channel, Charlie Mancuso, thank you very much. You guys did a great job, and Chad Gendro, thank you, Roy, as well, and the AMA. They did a great job, and they were good with us and the times that we had this year. And Duke, good luck to your new chapter in your life. And Sonny, we'll see you after races. And I never expected this to do something like this, and we're gonna keep doing it. Chad, congratulations. It's fun to have a challenge this year. You rode excellent as a rookie. Congratulations on your world title. I can't really see it because of the light, but congratulations. My teammate, Ernesto Fonseca. Bubba, it's good to see you walking around. Glad you're all right. Congratulations. And Brandon Justman, congratulations to you. It was awesome to see you. Thank you, everyone, for supporting us. The sport is, I'm glad to be doing something I love. I've been doing it since I was a little guy, and it's just something I can't believe. Words cannot explain it. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.